Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling. And in the spirit of the late, great Ole Anderson, Vince McMahon can go fuck himself on a number of levels. Thematically appropriate to what we're covering this week, and broadly appropriate as well.
Yeah, like I would have never wanted to do a retrospective episode on Ole Anderson or anything. He is a legend in this business, a brilliant wrestling mind, also a huge unrepentant racist, and the honoriest bastard that has ever happened in wrestling. The honoriest,
I didn't know about the racism part
ever.
I didn't know about the racism part.
Yeah, he really
maybe
was
he's
cool
not
with
so great then.
No, not really. I mean, he'll say fuck you to Vince, but he says fuck you to everybody though. That's the thing about Ole Anderson.
It's not on principle against Vince. It's on the principle of I just hate everything.
I will respect the principle of that he stayed firm and never taking a dime from Vince McMahon. Like he got offered to do to work for the WWE. He got offered to be in the documentaries. He got offered to do the Hall of Fame with the Horsemen. And he said, fuck you, Vince, every single time. So I do respect that.
Awesome.
And like,
but
I
all
guess
the other parts
if I have
awful.
if I have to give it to a racist, and I guess I don't really have to, but like,
no, we really don't.
We don't. He was that
broken clock.
Though.
Broken clock.
True.
Let's say that. Broken clock, baby.
I will say though, for like he had that attitude. He did have what could be considered an odd attitude of it. Is like he's definitely an unrepentant racist. He loves referring to black wrestlers with using the N-word. Big ups on that. However, he also was not the kind of racist that let that affect his booking though. Like whatever weird personal feelings he has about it, he still booked like Thunderbolt Patterson and the Junkyard Dog a lot because he recognized they were draws.
That's the power of the industry, baby. If you are enough of a fucking carny, you could put literally all of your own personal principles aside to do whatever draws you the most dimes. Oh yeah, baby. That's the fucking good shit right there.
And him hiring back Thunderbolt Patterson genuinely might be the most base thing he ever did, because Thunderbolt Patterson got blacklisted by the NWA for 7 years for accusations of institutional racism and trying to start a wrestlers union in like 1981. And when Ole got the book in 88, he was like, fuck it, get Thunderbolt back.
Holy shit, no way.
And then he turned heel on him because Carney's gonna Carney.
Well, of course, Carney's gonna Carney.
But in
the meantime,
but he healed on him because
outstanding. That's amazing.
So Ole Anderson, extremely complicated legacy, really. But
wow. Oh yeah. Wow.
An extremely unlikable person and an absolutely brilliant mind for wrestling.
Damn. So, like, Paul Heyman, but with a bunch of racism tacked on.
Paul Heyman, but he did pay the boys more often.
Paul Heyman, but instead of his vice being tight-fisted penny pinching, it's fucking racism. Oh, yeah, God. You win some, you lose some. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Yikes. All right. So, anyway, our quick tribute to Ole Anderson aside,
just talking about passing. He passed away yesterday as of this recording, and totally coincidentally, we're watching an episode of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in WCW when he would have been the top star in that company.
This was the luck of the draw, baby. This is kind of fucking nuts, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last time we were here, we watched the October 19th, 1985 episode of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. I mean, most of that episode thematically was about Dusty Rhodes' permanently injured ankle. His ankle is shattered and he will never wrestle again or whatever.
He will never recover. He's probably gonna fucking die. It's a real shame. Press F to pay respect, etc., etc.
Yeah. They had an extended period of time where they talked to a doctor about these kind of injuries.
As far as we know, a real fucking doctor who looked extremely confused as to why he was there and was asked to spew medical jargon about a non-existent injury. But he did it. And did it with aplomb. Good job. Good job, doctor.
Good going, doctor. But yeah, they finally showed the footage of what I mentioned last time in the front half of the first episode we did for this arc, which Dusty Rhodes was saved Ric Flair from an ass kicking by the Russians after a cage match for the NWA title. Flair repaid that favor by having the Andersons run down and shatter Dusty's ankle.
And say, fuck you, actually. Iconic, truly.
Yeah, so Dusty is on the mend, and Flair and the Andersons are teaming up here. I wonder if they'll find a nice fourth man for this group. That really feels like it would be complete if there was a fourth person.
Yeah, but fuck, what would a team like that call themselves? What things correlate to the number 4? I got nothing. I got another number, 0 of things that could possibly. Yeah, it's I get wanting to have more guys, but number 4, really, I don't think you can come up with anything there. Fucking do what you got to do.
We'll see where they go with that.
The real story we're following here. Can they come up with any kind of name to do with the number 4? I highly doubt it, but I could be wrong. I'm open to having my mind changed on that one.
We will see. So, also on this card is we're kind of watching out for Magnum T.A. and Tully Blanchard fighting over the United States Championship, and it's basically Tully. Magnum has had multiple shots at Tully at this point. Tully, especially with the help of his manager, Baby Doll, has screwed TA at every stop. But Tully is like, he's had his shots. He doesn't get another one. Fuck you.
I mean, that is technically how that works. So Tully technically has a point. Please ignore all of the reasons why Magnum failed at his shots. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but Magnum, as we'll see on this episode, has a plan. He has got an idea to get him one last match with Tully Blanchard.
I am legitimately wondering what the fuck that could be, because that would he's got to climb up the rankings somehow. So he's got to I don't know, get Wynn's quick scheme going or something.
The TA Open Challenge. Coming soon.
Oh shit. Oh, you know what? That's the way to do it. Just come fight me. Let me beat you up, please. Yeah. No, that's top tier strats right there. I'm on board now.
Yeah. We also we had a match with the Rock and Roll Express. They're the tag champs, or they were. Bum bum bum. Then there was the beef between the Midnight Express, managed by Jim Cornette, who's been fucking with the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant,
the Street Boys,
the street, right? The street man, the street people, the street people.
Yeah, street people.
And Jimmy Valiant has a new best friend in superstar Billy Graham.
Yes, and they're both crazy. And have crazy facial hair,
but they also love the children. That's what being street people's all about. Is they love the children.
Yes, I forgot. He saw a superstar at a soup kitchen or something. I honestly can't remember.
Talk to a kid in a wheelchair, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what being from the street is all about."
Specifically, kids in wheelchairs. No other type of kids. Fuck you, other kids.
Yeah, no, it's crippled kids only. Their words.
No, not even that. Just kids in wheelchairs. You're on crutches? Fuck you. Get out of here. That's not what being a street person is about. God damn. Wheelchairs only on the streets, pal.
Yeah. So I watched the October 26th, 1985 episode of Mid-Atlantic. Not a ton. I say not a ton. There actually is story-wise, there's actually a few interesting beats here. So the first big thing is we got the first announced matches for Starrcade.
Ooh.
Now, first of all, I will say is Jim Crockett announced a big, exciting new venture because they got so many fans who want to be a part of Starrcade that this year's Starrcade will be in 2 locations. Before WrestleMania 2 was in 3 locations, Starrcade was in 2 locations.
Really? What?
Make of that what you will.
I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. To know that this was actually not Vince McMahon's dumbass idea first. It was Jim Crockett's dumbass idea first.
Yeah, they are going to, in a move that can't possibly be making them money in 1985, will be simulcasting the show at Greensboro, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia in the Omni.
As you do.
And so half the matches on each of the show are going to be in Greensboro and half are going to be in Atlanta. And they're going to set up big screens at each location so that the fans on site can watch the matches that aren't there.
Wow. Where have I heard this one before? Geez, I wonder what the punchline to this is.
To be fair, Starrcade 85 has a much better reputation than WrestleMania 2.
That's fair. But
so we will see how that works out in practice, but
yeah,
I am trepidatious knowing how this flopped with the WWE.
I mean,
because what it did is it stretch their production teams extremely thin. Like, fucking, they got so many guest commentators at the wazoo here just because they need 3 fucking teams of commentators. If you want, I'm going to look them up right now just to prove the point of how bad this is. Is in New York, they have Vince McMahon and Susan
you're talking about
James.
WrestleMania 2. Okay, yeah.
WrestleMania 2. In WrestleMania 2 at the New York show, the commentators are Vince McMahon and Susan St. James, the actress.
Yes.
In Chicago, the commentary team is Gorilla Monsoon, Gene Okerlund, and Kathy Lee Crosby.
You know, that was an S tier. That was an S tier group until.
And then Los Angeles, they have the commentary team of Jesse Ventura, Lord Alfred Hayes, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm actually on board with that last one. I actually quite like that final pairing. Maybe this wasn't all bad.
But you do see the problem that they have. They need so many commentators. They're bringing in celebrities to do commentary for the whole show.
That is very fair. But would I pay a lot of money to watch any kind of thing that born out of the pairing or the grouping of Jesse Ventura, Lord Alfred Hayes, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark? Yes, I would. So actually, WrestleMania 2 is based.
That's fair. Also, a real sticking point of a problem is that all the matches suck.
Well, that is a bit more of an issue.
Like, of the 12 matches on this show, 5 of them are under 5 minutes, and one of them is 5 minutes 10. So,
oh boy, oh baby,
yeah, You get
is that Hogan versus
King Kong Bundy?
Yeah,
is the main event of LA. Nassau Coliseum, holy shit. So just to go over, sorry to derail talking about WrestleMania 2 because I hate this fucking show. But the New York matches are Paul Orndorff versus Don Morocco that ends in a double count out after 4 minutes. Randy Savage beating George the Animal Steele in 5 minutes for the IC title. Jake Roberts beating George Wells, a jobber, in 3 minutes.
What?
And then Mr. T defeating Roddy Piper by disqualification in a boxing match.
This dumbass shit.
Because Roddy Piper got DQ'd for doing wrestling moves in the boxing match.
Of dubious kayfabe levels.
Roddy Piper did legit hate Mr. T. So
I do know that much. I do know there was actual heat between those two men. Which
then if you go to the fucking Chicago show, you got to see live the Fabulous Moolah defending the women's championship in under 90 seconds. Corporal Kirshner defeating Nikolai Volkov in a flag match in 2 minutes. A flag match is the match where you win by grabbing your opponent's flag out of a pole.
Yes.
The WWF versus NFL Battle Royal, where half the participants were genuine former NFL players and current, actually.
Why?
There were some current NFL players in there. Which was won by Andre the Giant. And then the main event, and probably the best match on the show, was the British Bulldogs defeating Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake for the tag team championships with Ozzy Osbourne as the manager of the British Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. And Lou Albano, which is...
Lou Albano, of course.
Wow, what a pairing. Wow, what a pairing.
And then in LA, you got to see Ricky Steamboat defeating Hercules Hernandez in a 7-minute match. The infamously bad Adrian Adonis versus Uncle Elmer that is 3 minutes long. Then you get to see Terry Funk and Haas Funk, a renamed Dory Funk, defeat Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog in a match where Dory I don't know the god. Haas Funk? I don't fucking know. And then Hulk Hogan battles King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match that goes 11 minutes.
Death. Yeah, why couldn't that have been one of the sub-5s? Jesus.
Just bad shit all around here.
Awful.
Starrcade, I'll give you this. Starrcade 85 has better matches than that.
I fully believe that. I mean, that doesn't take much to have better matches than WrestleMania 2, so I am not remotely surprised by this. But also
to segue back to NWA WCW, the first official match booked for Starrcade 85 is the Rock and Roll Express versus the Russians in a steel cage match for the tag team titles. Because basically, since we've last been here, and in fact, it was the focus of the episode significantly, the Russians defeated the Rock and Roll Express to win the tag belts.
Oh, shit!
They showed highlights of the match of this, and basically the Russians won because there was, through shenanigans, as you'd expect, interference from their third man, as well as they draped their steel chain, like the steel chain they come to the ring with. They draped that across one of the turnbuckles and then dropped one of the Rock and Roll Express onto the turnbuckle to hit them with the chain.
Damn. Really brought down the Iron Curtain on the Rock and Roll Express to bring home our tag team our tag team belts, comrades.
So the Russians, Nikolai and Ivan Koloff, are now the tag team champions. And to the Rock and Roll Express's credit, they give credit. They're legit. The Russians are a legit tag team. They're some of the meanest and toughest guys around. But it took 3 guys to beat the Rock and Roll Express. It took a steel chain for them to beat the Rock and Roll Express. In a cage match, it's going to be 2 versus 2. And they ain't beating the Rock and Roll Express 2v2.
Okay, I enjoy that. Simple but effective reasoning. That's sometimes all you need in your booking. Okay, good answer. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. And then it has also been announced that Ric Flair will be defending his championship. We don't have a name yet.
I guess too.
The booking committee is still working out who they're going to sign for Ric Flair.
I'll tell you who it is. I'll tell you who it isn't. It isn't fucking Dusty Rhodes, because he's goddamn dying. That ankle is never recovering. It sure is fucking him. Get him the fuck.
We'll cycle back to that in a minute. But
yeah,
but it has been confirmed that there will be a Ric Flair title match at Starrcade.
Outstanding, as there should be.
Yeah, and so the other big story beat on this episode is related to Rick and Dusty. So Ric Flair has a sit-down interview with Bill Apter, who you might know that name a little bit. Bill Apter is the editor-in-chief of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Has been for a very long time.
Still is.
Yeah, I believe he is still doing that.
Holy shit.
Like I know it's his magazine, but I don't know. Yeah, he's 78 and still fucking going.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's been doing the PWI since the 1970s.
That's really goddamn cool.
No, and unlike Mr. Dave Meltzer, who is exposing the business, that piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, what the hell?
Bill Apter keeps it kayfabe, brother. If you read
I know.
PWI, it is total kayfabe.
That's so nuts that there is like just a kayfabe publication.
Yeah.
That's
so back in the day, if you wanted to get the news of what's going on in the wrestling world, you read the Apter mags.
Holy shit, that's fucking nuts. Oh my god. And like, God, there's so many implications of that, because he's kayfabe across the entire industry. He covers all the fucking way around. Which makes me wonder how he's covered some things that should be like cross-platform continuity errors, like times where, I don't know, wrestlers have on-screen died so they could go work for another company. Is he just like, oh wow, she sure as fuck looks like this other wrestler, isn't that crazy? Oh well.
He probably is like that.
Jesus Christ, that's awesome. That's kind of great, actually. What a fucking shit
I've never read the Apter mags, so I can't know, but that makes sense to me. That's what I would do if I was running a kayfabe magazine.
That's amazing. That's like, fuck, I want to do that now. How do I get in with the Apter mags? God damn.
But yeah, so because he runs a kayfabe magazine, he is actually on much better terms with these territories boys than Meltzer is. To the point that, as I just said, Dave Meltzer, that fucker who's exposing the business,
smarks like a Meltzer. I know these fucking marks had no idea that we were faking it all. Meltzer, it's because of you that everybody knows now. There is no other explanation for this.
So fuck you.
It's not like they've known this whole time. God damn, that's so fucking funny.
So on this episode of Mid-Atlantic, they bring in Bill Apter to do like an interview with Ric Flair, and it's treated as if like he's doing a genuine sit-down interview with a genuine wrestling journalist.
Holy shit, that's awesome. That rules.
So Bill Apter, he tries to talk to him about like what's going on with Dusty. What was that thing about with Dusty Rhodes, man? And he's like, and Ric Flair's like, why do I got to talk about that Dusty Rhodes? He's gone forever. He's not relevant anymore. Why do I have to talk about him?
The OG mockumentary. Oh my god. It's good. We're gonna have a fucking like Office situation where like Ric Flair says something like that, then we just like turn to Dusty, like turning to the camera and giving like a fucking like Jim Halpert look to it of like,
I mean, you could argue that almost is what happens, because after he starts shit talking Ric Flair, Bill Apter is like, well, I'd like to direct you to this video that has been sent to us live from Dusty Rhodes' home. It's Dusty Rhodes.
Wait, this video that's been sent to us live from Dusty Rhodes.
They like start broadcasting live from Dusty's house.
Oh, okay. That's really funny.
And so Dusty, he kind of gives a very Dusty. He's kind of like, American Dream, I'll be back. I apologize to all my fans because the last few weeks I've taken a vow of silence over what happened.
A long vacation, baby.
I apologize to all my fans out there. And he's like, I'm the son of a plumber. My father, all he knew was a plumber. And this is like all I know how to do is wrestling. And he promises to be back. He's on a timetable. He will be back, and Ric Flair is like, no, that's a medical impossibility. You will never recover and be the same as you were, even if you ever recover at all. No way.
Ankles are things that famously never heal.
Well, and Ric Flair's confident that he's done it, that he has shattered his ankle beyond repair.
He's found Dusty's Achilles ankle. And he's fucking done for. That's incredible. Good job, Flair. Great. You're doing great, buddy.
So, Dusty promises to be back as soon as possible. And then he's like, Ric Flair, he talks about how Ric Flair is like, I'm the embodiment of the American dream, Daddy. You try to pretend like you're something that you're not with your shoes and your suits. And he's like, and he basically is like, Ric Flair, I don't respect you as, I have lost respect for you as a champion. I've lost respect for you as an athlete. I've lost respect for you as a human being. You're a fraud. You're a phony.
You had all of those things to begin with? Oof, rare Dusty L.
Yeah, they're playing it off as if, like, he always kind of, even if he didn't like Ric Flair's tactics, he had to respect him as a competitor. That, that's the stuff that, it's that kind of babyface attitude of like, listen, you did what you had to do to win. I don't like that, but it is what you have to do. Meanwhile, this straight up jumping you and shattering your ankle is just straight up out of pocket.
Of course, typical self-sacrificing babyface. Oh, so normal. But Dusty, I have a secret for you. You say you have to respect Flair as a competitor. Hey, Dusty, no, you don't. Actually,
you absolutely do not have to give it to him.
Not in the. So you see, Dusty, you see what we did at the beginning of this episode? Yeah, do that. You do not. In fact, have to give it to him. So I'm glad you've seen the light. I'm sorry it took your ankle getting shattered for it to get there. But we're on the same page now. All right, good job, Dusty.
But no, Flair is absolutely pissed at this disrespect. Ric Flair. The video shuts off after Dusty is done talking, and Ric Flair just keeps ranting and raving at a blank television screen, as if Dusty can still hear him.
I hope he tries to reach through the screen to grab Dusty out of it. That would really complete the picture right there.
No, but Flair is pissed at Dusty's blatant disrespect. We will see. Can Dusty get healed in time for Starrcade?
I highly doubt it. Again, ankles, fuck them. They're done. They're gone. So you get so much as a paper cut, and you're just donezo. You're dead. Already.
Also, Dusty gave an interview on crutches by ringside at a different point in time in the episode, and he was jumped by the Andersons, and Arn stole his world television title. And now is going around saying that he is the world television champion. Because in the words of Arn Anderson, possession is 99% of the law. So therefore,
that's how that saying goes.
He is the television champion.
Unironically, one of my favorite fucking heel gimmicks that anyone could do is when they steal a champion's title and just like, actually, I'm the champion now. It's like fucking 5-year-olds on a playground. And all that matters is who holds the belt.
Yeah. It's like, no.
Arn Anderson said
not.
my tone.
Yeah. So Dusty having to fight a war on two fronts here because he's got to deal with Arn's stupid ass and Ric Flair.
Yes! Yeah, baby, that's amazing. I love that.
Not really anything for Magnum and Tully because but neither man is on the episode, though they do have Baby Doll pop up to do a promo with Bob Caudle, and she uses Magnum T.A.'s government name. I was like, what the fuck?
We're using shoot names?
She starts shit talking Terry Allen, and I'm like, who the fuck is Terry Allen? And that's Magnum's real name.
But again, Meltzer's the one who's trampling all the fuck over kayfabe here and giving away the secret.
Kayfabe, I guess in kayfabe he is Terry Allen. He just goes by Magnum T.A. because he thinks that's cooler, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, what kind of parent names their child after a condom? It's not ideal.
Mr. and Mrs. T.A.
Mr. and Mrs. T. Yeah, that's their last name. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just just what the fuck their name is. Outstanding.
So, that was bizarre to watch, of like her referring to Terry, her just shit talking some wrestler named Terry Allen. I'm like, I gotta Google this. Who is this person? And then that's Magnum.
Austin heard the name Terry and tensed up, thinking she was about to start talking about Terry Taylor. No.
Terry Taylor was mercifully not on the episode. I didn't have to see his ass, and it was great.
Your deep hatred for
this even if this was just a bit, it has to stay. I can't stop now. I've already committed.
It's so wonderful.
It's like I can't stop. It's like I can't stop being a mark for the honky tonk man. It's like we started. I can't stop.
No. Or being a mark for Jeff Jarrett, unironically.
That's true.
That's fun. Yeah, we need to get our podcast popular enough within the next calendar year so that you can enter contendership for like I saw some discourse on Twitter.
Hater of the year
for the Meltzer Awards. We need to get you on that ballot.
Fightful and Simon Miller talked about it.
Is it Fightful?
Award. Yeah.
Oh shit.
SRS tweeted about it, and then Simon Miller in his newest ups and downs video was like hater of the year contenders.
Yes. So we got to get you on that ballot, right?
And both lists included Christian Cage, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is absolutely going wild now. We on CM Punk, man. On Raw, he was like, I know. Raw was like, I know you're straight edge, Punk, so I drank for the both of us to celebrate.
I saw that, and he did the fucking cross-legged sit. Yeah, fuck you, Phil. Damn, I should also go on that ballot. I want to ride Drew's coattails on that one, actually, and Nigel McGuinness, of course. Let's not forget Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, true. Nigel is in it. Hangman's got to be a contender for hater of the year here.
He's getting up there, I think.
In Nyla Rose taking out a full page ad in PWI just to shit on Serpentico.
Yes, the fucking Nyla and Serpentico and like best enemy ship is so beautiful. I love it so much.
Yep.
I didn't know she took out a fucking full page ad.
Yep. She doesn't even plug it. She didn't even plug anything. It's just shit. It's just
fuck you, Serpentico. They won tag belts together. What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so.
And then
funny.
AJ Styles is on the list for booking a flight all the way to Australia just to do a run in on LA Night, kick his ass.
I guess AJ Styles is going heel against LA Knight. I just learned about this. That's fucking crazy.
Anyway, but yeah, it's honor. We got to talk about Hater of the Year in honor of a lifetime award winner for Hater of the Year.
Ole Anderson Hater of the Year
Hater of the Year award.
Well, you know what? For whatever the fuck year we're in, Ric Flair can go on it for wanting to keep screaming at Dusty Rhodes through a dead television.
That's true. He's a contender for 8 in 85, I think, for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we are going to actually watch 2 episodes because plots are the same week, November the 2nd, 1985, of Mid-Atlantic and World Championship Wrestling. And it's because the plot line of the Magnum Tully covers both episodes. It happens across both episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, shit. I guess we got to watch both Mid-Atlantic and World Championship.
You know, I figured we would have to dip our toe in at some point to the long boy. So might as well get it out of the way. We shall see if Magnum T.A. and or Tully Blanchard also become contenders for Hater of the Year in 1985.
We will see. So yeah, if you'd like to watch along with us, you can do so at Peacock. You know, that's NBC Universal streaming service. WWE licenses all their stuff on that these days. You know, it's all of their Mid-Atlantic episodes and all of their World Class Championship episodes, of which they have a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, actually.
They got a ton of that there. That's all there. You can find it on Peacock. When we come back, we will discuss the November 2nd, 1985 episodes of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and World Championship Wrestling.
Outstanding.
And we are back. We have finished the November 2nd, 1985 episodes of both Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and World Championship Wrestling.
You know, I feel like the word wrestling is doing a lot of work in both of those titles, Austin.
Listen, there was 16 matches across both shows, and all of them sucked.
There's one I liked, but like it had nothing to do with anything else, so it might as well have not existed. Almost all of them were like sub 2s in length, or sub 5 at the very least.
Sub 5, absolutely. Yeah, no. I did both episodes for a very specific reason. I think I was justified for making that choice, but also we're never doing this again. We're never doing this setup again. One or the other.
My brain is still leaking out of my ear after being absolutely fucking microwaved by these 16-ass nothing matches.
Yeah. A lot of fucking interviews, though. Dudes are out here getting multiple interviews a show.
Oh my fucking god! I have shit to say about that when we get to WCW. This is crazy.
Bro, WCW only had 5 people to interview. We just had to keep going this cycle.
How did they? No, we'll get there. Yeah, we begin though with Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling
for sure.
Yes,
we get the recap from the video from the thing from last week I was talking about, where Dusty Rhode is on the TV screen. He's like, "You're a has-been. You're a phony. You're a pretender. You're a farce."
Oh yeah, and oh yeah, dude, that was definitely a live feed on that TV right there. That definitely wasn't like fucking green screened in or something. Also, what was great about that is like we have Dusty up on the TV supposedly talking to Ric Flair in the interview studio, and then the TV turns off, but we still hear Dusty's voice for a couple of seconds. It's like, oh god, he's in Ric's head.
Good work. And yeah, Ric Flair just ranting at the TV while Bill Apter sits there.
TV production, you're doing fucking great, guys. Jesus fuck Christ. All right. show proper begins. Magnum T.A.
We do open with Bob Caudle interviewing Magnum T.A. Caudle mentions that Magnum has asked the president of the NWA to make his match with Tully Blanchard an I Quit match.
I did go on a bit of an arc with Magnum T.A. in this one. This first promo, I was like, he still feels like a little stilted to me. He can talk like fast and confident. I appreciate that. He has the look. I see the potential, but something wasn't quite clicking. We'll get to that a little later.
So Magnum is like, Tully thinks it's over between us, but in all of our matches, there's never been a clear winner. There's always someone running in the match or Tully running right out of the building because he can't get to 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds like a you problem, boss. Like you've had the matches. Sorry, the finishes weren't clean.
That's the champion's advantage. You got to beat him. Tully doesn't have to beat you. But so he wrote a letter to the president, Bob Geisel.
Just
Geigel
crazy.
Or something. He wrote a letter, and he's like, for this I Quit match, we can know once and for all who's got the most guts, who's got the most fight, and who's really the United States champion. And we will be getting updates about this throughout both shows. That's why we picked
fucking letter. Yeah, it's crazy. So our first match of the night is the Russians versus fucking who? I don't know.
Martin Fleming and David Dillinger. I did get the names of most of the jobbers from listening to commentary.
I noted the name of one of the jobbers for a good fucking reason, and we'll get there.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
So they're just wearing fucking hammer and sickle singlets, which is the funniest. The Russians, it's so fucking on brand. Even the fucking the Iron Curtain or whatever the fucking WWF were not so overt in their
Joseph
theming.
Stalin would look at these guys and tell them to settle the fuck down.
Yeah, like, oh, I appreciate the nationalism, but come on, comrades, this is a little excessive for me.
Don't be a fucking mark, goddamn.
Don't be a fucking mark for the Soviet Union, comrade. That's amazing. Yeah, you'll be shocked to learn that they win. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
Gives them.
Let me see if I have anything interesting I want to talk about here. I mean, Nikita Koloff is a big powerhousey boy. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, I did take a note that like the Russians are like fucking massive. All of them are pretty fucking big, but Nikita especially is like. He's like,
jacked as hell.
Like this is a man who is directly Cheeto shaped. Like there is just fucking or Dorito shaped. Pardon me.
Yeah.
There is there's really something just wow about that frame.
The jobbers get in a decent amount of offense, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
on this one,
the crowd. The thing that I will never ever, I bring it up every time, but I will never ever be over how in the classic era, like the crowd goes feral for just like a little bit of fucking work rate. Like they do a little bit of chain wrestling and all of a sudden it's like, wah! Wah! And also like
I made this note of it is like, it's so fascinating to see these like older era crowds who just only give a shit about seeing their favorites win. Like,
seriously.
That's all they really care about. Like, they don't give a shit about the work rate that much. I mean, they appreciate a little nice wrestling, but ultimately, it's about like they want to see the Russians lose. They want to see these fuckers get beaten.
Yeah. Oh no, like they're just fully bought in on the morality play, and that's it. And it's always crazy to me. Also, like from the sounds of the crowd, like it's like inordinately made up of like women and or children. Like there's so much high pitched screaming in the fan. And like
a lot of a very very wrestling fandom hasn't been completely lost to male nerds yet.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair. If there was ever a product to appeal to the female gaze, sometimes a nice muscular man doing nice muscular man things, that'll do it. Also,
they hit what's that?
Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna mention the finish, but if you got something else to say.
It's like a minor commentary note we can do after the finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Nikita hits a big lariat they call the hammer. Remember that for later. For the win.
And we get a freeze frame on like a dude getting fucking one of the jobbers getting fucking wrecked by said hammer. Like, dude, I love these mid-Atlantic championship wrestling like freeze frames that they'll do as they go from segment to segment. They'll just fucking freeze on the end of a match, and it's always like dude is fucking dying in like the least flattering pose and face you could ever make. Commentary note I want to make. They're hyping up the later appearance of Billy Jack Haynes, which apparently like in between the front half and now has become a major fucking yikes.
We are going to talk about that.
But they mention him as the People's Champion.
Hold on, brother.
Hold on, dude. Why are you gimmick stealing, brother?
Yeah. But then we get after the match. I was after the match. Nikita drops a few more elbows on David Dillinger.
Oh, he's a bad guy. Going to work, man.
Yep. But then we cut to a report from Dusty Rhodes and the return of Dr. Iswanik.
Yeah, we also one more thing is as Bob Hoddle is announced, or Bob Caudle, is that his name?
Bob Caudle.
As Bob Caudle is announcing this segment, we can hear the fucking crowd going, USA! USA! In the background. Dirty commies. Yeah. Dusty is alive. In fact, you will be shocked to learn. And it cracked me up because he was talking in a very, like, normal cadence in this.
Oh, he was in his normal voice here. He was like
his normal voice. He was like the accent was a lot more subtle all of a sudden.
This is a very important time for me and what's happened in my life. And Dr. Iswanik is the best. That's why I'm here at his clinic, because he's the best. And my father being a plumber, that's all he knew how to do. Wrestling is all I know how to do.
This man fucking rambles. They ask him what date he's coming back, and it's like, let me tell you about dates, baby. Dates are great, a brilliant thing. My father, who was a plumber, taught me all about the importance of dates. Every single morning he'd ask me about what date it was, and I say, well, Daddy, today is it doesn't matter what date it is, but it matters that it is a date. The dates are very important. Anyway, I'll be back fucking tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. So I noted that this video was taken from October 15th.
Oh, okay.
That's important.
They're airing it on November 2nd, then. Jesus.
Yeah. They took it from the 15th, but he does say November 3rd is when he plans to be back ring ready again.
Which is a day after this episode aired, which is crazy.
It is a medical impossibility, as we will talk about.
Do they even have a show on the day after? Do they have a November 3rd show?
Probably.
Oh, well, probably like a house
I mean,
show
I assume. Yeah, I assume it's a show with the Omni. What would I be looking for? Jim Crockett Promotions. We're going on to Cage Match.
Probably.
Yeah, Yeah, Jim, he does ramble a lot to get to November 3rd.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dusty?
Yeah, he does use the line again about how, like his dad is a plumber who does all he knew how to do. This is all I know how to do.
He's contractually obligated to mention in every single promo that his dad was a plumber.
He's the son of a plumber.
He's the son of a plumber.
Yeah, November 3rd, they had an NWA World Championship TV taping.
Oh, shit.
On November the 3rd. It would air on November the 9th.
Ah, okay. So it's like the next week's show. Okay, fair enough.
This actually, they don't, Dusty doesn't wrestle on this. Let me see. Oh, he might be on the Mid-Atlantic card.
Oh,
he is. This is a live event. They taped at the Omni. They had a show. Dusty Rhodes fought Mike Davis, and then in the main event, he wrestled twice. He wrestled Mike Davis, and then in the main event, he wrestled a 6-man tag with Billy Jack Haynes, Dusty Rhodes, and Magnum T.A. versus Ric Flair and the Andersons.
These fucking carnies literally like sold the next fucking live event on maybe Dusty will be back from injury. I don't know.
Dusty will be back, guys.
Tickets.
Atlanta, Georgia. He'll be back.
Get your tickets. He might just. God damn it. I also love from this promo, holy shit, they take this medical shit so fucking seriously. Doc What's His Nuts gives us
Dr. Swanik. So Crockett asked the doctor about... The doctor is... So David Crockett is doing the interview. Is like, well, okay, doctor, how do you feel about that? November 3rd. How's that looking? And he's like, well, you know, it can depend on a lot. You know, it's tough for this kind of injury. It can depend on a lot of factors. God damn it. But he talks about he starts giving a long list of the kind of exercises they're going to do so that Dusty Rhodes can keep up his strength and fitness even as he's recovering from the ankle. He talks about all the rowing machine and the bicycle and how when they get the cast off, he's going to start running in the swimming pool to keep the weight off his foot. They go,
yeah.
So in depth on his
full-ass demonstration of the exercise equipment that Dusty is going to be using to recover. What the shit?
They got to really sell how real this is.
Oh my god!
By talking about his recovery, his physical recovery.
Fucking goofy. I love when my wrestling storytelling is topped off with just the most benign, banal medical realism that this fucking company can dredge up.
It feels like one of those fascinating things of in their minds, this is still deep in kayfabe, we got to make everything appear real. So what that means in their minds of what that means we have to do on a presentation level.
You gotta
that's
show
so
how
funny
the fuck exercise equipment works, obviously.
We gotta talk to a real doctor and have him show real physical therapy exercises to show how real this ankle injury is.
Oh, it's beautiful. And it doesn't stop here. It'll keep going later. Yes.
I can't wait to talk about the WCW interview.
I know.
But
then we end on a title card. We end on a title card that's Dusty Rhodes, will the dream come true?
I just think Dusty, David Crockett talks to us. He's like, well, Dusty, you'll have to do everything this doctor tells you to do. And Dusty's like, oh yeah, no doubt about that. And he's talking about how he's going to add an insert into his boot, which we'll get more on that in the WCW episode. Talking about that element.
Yeah, we fucking will.
But then Dusty's like, he knows it's something he has to do.
Go for it.
Dusty's like, there's something I have to do. And he knows there's one guy out there listening to him right now. And on November the 3rd, he will be back in the ring.
Oh, shit. No, it's impossible. I also love the fact that we just have, Jim Crockett's whole-ass brother here just, doing commentary shit.
Yeah, and I don't think they don't even draw attention to the fact that David Crockett is related to Jim Crockett.
Nepotism. It's not just for your children. So anyway, Magnum T.A. promo number 2, I believe.
Let me check my notes. Yep, that's true. We are back with Magnum T.A. and Bob Caudle. Bob Caudle really just here to show footage from the last time that Magnum and Tully had a match. We get the explanation that they were 50 minutes deep in this United States title match. Tully is bleeding hard, and they're fighting in a corner. Magnum T.A., or maybe it was, or Tully, one of them hits an atomic drop on the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then both men go down, and they are both out for the 10 count. It's one of those things that, if you watch wrestling, you see that element to the plot before. The idea is of they follow boxing rules on that of if both men are down at the count of 10, it's a draw.
Yeah.
But it's never something that actually ends matches. It's just an element of a match that is, where that can happen. But someone always gets up. But nope, not in this one.
No,
in this match they actually end on the knockout, on the double knockout.
They just fucking go die. And like these dudes are down and out, and yeah, so no contest here again. Magnum, this really sounds like a you problem, brother. Like it may not have been like
Magnum is like, this is why we need an I Quit match, because I may have went down, but I never quit.
Oh my god.
So I clearly should get another shot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the fact that you were down for like 10 plus seconds is a great indicator that you would have been able to really power through the rest of that match, Magnum.
I mean, Tully's going to bring that up later, but
yeah.
But basically Magnum this is kind of establishing like why Magnum wants this I Quit match, is because the last match didn't end in a very definitive fashion, one over the other. It ended in a tie.
Yes.
So he wants a match where you can't end in a tie. The match can't end. For people who don't know, an I Quit match is a match where you can only win by making the other person physically say the words "I quit."
I quit. Yeah. And Magnum T.A. is very convinced that such words will never ever come out of his mouth. And that Tully's gonna fucking die, the little yellow belly coward, or I don't know. He's real mad about this. He's really hoping that the president of the NWA will come through for him. But yeah.
So then, our next match, Billy Jack Haynes versus Mark Jeffers. Okay, so let's Billy Jack Haynes is the new hot signing here at the NWA. He's a mainstay in the Portland area wrestling. And we might have our newest member of the Benoit
of the Yikes Club. Of the fucking Yikes Club.
Because this week, as of this taping, week,
a couple days after we recorded the front half.
Yeah, Billy Jack Haynes was brought up on charges for the murder of his spouse. 70-year-old Billy Jack Haynes allegedly shot his 85-year-old spouse with a shotgun and killed her.
His 85-year-old spouse who was dying of dementia.
Which, truly an insane story.
What
is happening?
Yikes. Jesus Christ.
He has his day in court on April the 11th.
Ooh.
So I'm going to comfortably put him in the murderers club that we just kind of won't talk about if I don't have to, with Chris Benoit and Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
Now, if it comes out in some way that suggests that he didn't murder his spouse, okay. I mean, we don't talk about Billy Jack Haynes very often anyway.
I'm not super concerned.
I'm not concerned about, what if we're unduly punishing this man for this?
But, if it does come to that, sure, we can remove him from the club. We can expunge his record. But until then...
I'm happy to not talk about Billy Jack Haynes in any real way, besides to mention when he does stuff, which in this case, he wins with the full Nelson. That's his submission.
His unbreakable full Nelson. My man out here gimmick stealing from not only The Rock, but also Chris Masterson.
Yeah.
And
you'll have a match with Hercules at WrestleMania over who can do a better full Nelson.
Fucking true. Oh wait, that's legit. Wait, that wasn't you.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3, they had the Hercules and Billy Jack Haynes had the who can hit the full Nelson better match.
Oh yeah, the full Nelson match. You've talked about this.
Yeah, I don't think we watched it when we watched WrestleMania 3, but we saw some bits of that storyline.
Yes.
While we were watching
I do appreciate that when he gets Jeffers into this fucking hold. This is the jobber who I remember. Again, we'll get to it. When he gets Jeffers into this fucking hold, he nothing more effective when applying a full Nelson headlock than the shaken baby syndrome maneuver, where he just starts fucking jostling Mark Jeffers. and he just and my man just fucking ragdoll flops as soon as Haynes hits him with this. He flops into his arms, and then Haynes tosses him aside. He just fucking like ragdoll rebounds against the ropes. Jesus Christ, my man is fucking dead. And then of course, goofy ass freeze frame number 2 of like the my man dying in the middle of this full Nelson. And
so
promo segment again. Jesus Christ.
It is time for Starrcade 85 update as Jim Crockett himself is here to talk to Bob Caudle.
Yeah, first of all, why are there two R's in Starrcade? I don't understand that. Why is it Starrcade?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask me why they named it like that.
Sure, but Bob Caudle is like, new matches are being signed daily, new matches are being signed weekly. Wait, Bob, which is it? Bob!
But he talks to Jim Crockett, and Crockett announces...
Wait, that's Jim Crockett?
That's Jim Crockett.
He's just some dude. And he also doesn't seem terribly comfy in front of the camera. He's
Not
like,
really.
Yeah, well, we got some new matches come.
Yeah, Jimothy Crockett is here, and he announces Ole and Arn Anderson will be defending their national tag team titles. It's easy to forget they have those. It's like the second most important tag title, and Arn Anderson is more focused on the television title right now.
Yes,
so
seriously.
It's easy to forget they are the national tag champs. But the Minnesota Wrecking Crew will be defending against Billy Jack Haynes and Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Who I always forget that he exists, and every time I hear his name, I'm like, what the fuck is that fucking name?
And they decide to hype up a clip of Billy Jack and Wahoo as a tag team. And this is fucking nuts. Not the match. The match clips or whatever. But they are wrestling Rick Rude and Jesse Barr. But also Rick Rude.
Yeah.
WWF.
That's crazy.
Apparently, they had a big tag rivalry with Billy Jack and Wahoo in Florida.
Holy shit. Also, I don't know if I've ever looked this up. Wahoo McDaniel is actually Native American. Okay, well that makes
he
it
is
better.
one of the ones.
That makes it better. I just
assumed
he was white. Okay, that actually does make it a little better. I'm sorry for being mean about your name, Chief Wahoo. I thought you were white.
Chief Wahoo, yeah. Don't disrespect Chief Wahoo like
I'm
that.
sorry. I thought he was white.
But then not only Rick Rude and Jesse Barr, they are managed by Percy Pringle, who that is Paul Bearer.
Oh, fucking Bearer. I somehow missed both of these cameos. I don't know how the hell you caught them. Yes.
Yeah, but not before he was, he was Percy Pringle.
Yes.
Which I think is just his real name.
Which is a crazy-ass real name to have. How the fuck are you actually for real named Percy Pringle? I will never understand.
I'm going to double check, but pretty sure that is his real name.
Paul Bearer. No, his name is William
No, it's
Moody.
even more insane. William Moody.
William Alvin Moody. Which, that's
name.
still pretty iconic.
Bill Moody.
His
real name, huh?
He sure was Moody when never mind. So anyway. Let's see. We next up get something about Ron Bass versus Black Bart.
Yeah, all right. John Cornette also announces Black Bart versus Ron Bass. These were two dudes who used to be a tag team, but now they're bitter enemies.
Can
they're
going to be coexist? No, they couldn't.
Well, not anymore. They can't.
Not anymore.
And they are going to be in a bull rope match at Starrcade.
Which I guess is like Black Bart's specialty is the bull rope. But what
he does hang around with this bull rope. And they announced a special gimmick that if Ron Bass wins, he will get 5 minutes alone in the ring with James J. Dillon and the bull rope.
Oh, I thought it was another fucking match.
They phrase it like that, but then they clarify it. They do the 5. They mention it's like a 5-minute gimmick on WCW.
I missed that clarification because I was like, "Holy shit!" JJ Dillon's decrepit ass is about to have a fucking bull rope.
Yeah,
match.
so a extremely classic old school wrestling gimmick is that if the babyface wins, they get 5 minutes alone with the heel managers to beat the shit out of them. Now, as much as I can make that sound weird, the goal is that they're gonna beat the shit out of these heel managers uninterrupted for 5 minutes.
JJ Dillon is gonna fucking die. Realistically, 5 minutes alone with Braun Bass and the bull rope, JJ Dillon is just gonna be a corpse by the end of it. He will be crumpled. There will be nothing left.
No.
Brutal.
Getting 5 minutes alone with a manager after a win is super old school wrestling gimmick.
Crazy. I kind of love that though. Like, it's just so fucked up. I
gotta bring that back for AEW. You beat let me see who's someone who can eat a loss in the Don Callis family. Beat Kyle Fletcher, and then after the match you get 5 minutes with Don Callis alone.
Yo, can you imagine though that like Kenny Omega makes his return, beats Takeshita, and then gets 5 minutes alone with Don Callis? That shit would set the crowd on fucking fire. Holy hell. That's amazing. We get a video package to show remind us how evil the JJ Dillon crew is. It's I think it's like Ron Bass having a match.
It is Ron Bass fighting Black Bart.
It's Ron Bass fighting Black Bart. We get a run in from the rest of the JJ Dillon crew.
Good old Thunderfoot.
Hangman Thunderfoot choking out Ron Bass with Black Bart's bull rope over the turnbuckle.
Thunderfoot runs in because he's the guy in the red jumpsuit, the red bodysuit.
With the fucking
he runs
kiss
in
marks all over it.
Like a loser.
Yeah.
I love him. So he runs in to interfere. Ron Bass stops him, but then JJ runs in with the bull rope. They start choking Ron Bass with it, and then Black Bart hits Bass in the head with a cowbell.
Yes, we need more cowbell. Also,
and he said, "All right, bam."
Yeah, bang. Well, yeah, fuck, I guess so. And then we get like a little video package that's like 50 years of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, which is fucking
It's true.
crazy.
We're in a historic year.
Yeah, we're not even at fucking 50 years of WrestleMania yet, but in 1985 it was 50 years of Mid-Atlantic. That's fucked up. It's crazy that like wrestling was a thing back in 1930 goddamn 5. Absolutely nutso shit. And then we get our next match is Jimmy Valiant versus once again Mark Jeffers.
No, it's Jim Jeffers.
Oh, wait, there are multiple Jeffers?
There are 2 Jeffers.
Oh, my well, why didn't they ever become a powerful tag team? The Jeffers brothers. I would want.
Yeah, but whatever. Jimmy Valiant just is beating his shit out of his dude. I don't think Jim Jeffers gets in a single offensive move.
Not a single goddamn one. Commentary says that
Jimmy
Jeffers is in his
this dude's ass.
Commentary says that Jeffers is in his Halloween colors because he's wearing black.
I think he was because now last week Billy Graham was in orange and black for a match, and they were like, "Oh my god, he's in Halloween colors." And
I thought they were saying that about Jim Jeffers, which is fucking funny.
No, they're talking about Billy Graham, but then being like Jimmy Valiant this week because he's in like yellow and black.
Yeah. Well, it goes, look at Valiant. He's decked out in some kind of colors. He's in bright yellow and black. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm fucking colorblind. Like.
They were trying to make a connection because of Billy Graham last week. Flopped it, really.
Yeah, Bob Cottle's like, what do you mean some colors? That's yellow and black.
Yeah, I can see what colors he's in right now.
David. Yeah. And then, but it does. The match goes for like 2 seconds because we have a Midnight Express post-match beatdown to get to.
Yeah, but then, who is this new woman here?
Oh God.
This street lady comes into the ring and just right hook knocks out beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Yeah.
Now, David, I know who this is, and there are multiple segments across both shows talking about her. So I want to know, when do you want the punchline of who the street lady is?
Oh, we gotta have
now, or do you want to wait?
No, we gotta have it at the very end. We gotta the payoff we get to this at the very end of the WCW episode. That is. We need to have it revealed then because of how the fuck Jimmy Valiant set this up for us. I have a sneaking suspicion about a vague identity, but I don't want to I don't want to know for real until we get there. But
who do you think it is then?
No one specific. I just think it's someone in drag. Looking at the proportions, I was like, this feels like someone's wearing a big titty bodysuit.
All right, we'll talk about it when we get to the end. Then
I'm excited.
This is literally the last segment of.
Yeah,
the
I think there's no better
so
punchline for this episode than the reveal of who the fuck the street lady. Yeah, so the street lady.
Anyway,
which maybe implies that she's a prostitute? Question mark.
No, I think it's just because of the street people.
But she's not part of the branding yet. Whatever. So
she's now part of the branding. She's one of the street people. So she's a street lady. Sure. I don't think they meant prostitute. I don't think that's what they were going for.
That's fair. That would be a little much for the theming. But anyway, so yes, the street lady comes in, fucking wrecks Bobby Eaton, and then just kind of like saunters out of the ring
and heads on out of the building.
And Jimmy Valiant's like, what the fuck?
All right. And then we go backstage with Arn, Tully, and Baby Doll.
Yes.
Bob Caudle is like, Arn, that's Dusty's title you have right there. And Arn is like, now, I've been hearing speculation that I'm a thief. Speculation again.
That's... Brother,
right there.
Right the fuck there.
That's not speculating. But the fact of the matter is this: possession is 99% of the law. That's not true at all.
That's not even how the saying goes, Arn.
No, but Arn is like, Dusty has been out here crying about being hurt. But we're not playing tiddlywinks. We're not playing Chinese checkers.
We are, in fact, playing Parcheesi.
Every night we go to the ring, we take the risk of injury. And if Dusty Rhodes doesn't have the guts to wrap it up, put some icy hot on it, and defend his title, that makes me the world champion.
Yeah, Arn Anderson, brand ambassador for Icy Hot out here.
Yeah, so Arn Anderson, complete insane person.
Yeah,
just like
total.
Dusty is a total pussy and isn't defending his title because he had an ankle injury or whatever. So that makes me champion by default.
I love the perfect logic. We can all learn from the philosopher Arn Anderson on this one.
Yeah, and so then Bob is like, all right. And he talks to Tully.
He's like, all right, maybe Tully will be a little more on the hinge.
And he asked about Magnum, and Tully's like, hey, it was a hard-fought match. You know, he had a great, awesome match. But, Magnum would make you think that he was standing up there, and I was looking up at the mat, looking up at the lights. Mm-hmm. And he's like, both men got carried out, and he's still the champion. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
Tully just kind of has a point here.
He does. Tully doesn't care if Magnum sends a letter up there pointing to heaven.
Yes, to the world's number one Hulkamaniac.
He's like, there will be no I Quit match. I don't care what the NWA says. And
I love that. I love Tully asserting that he'll just, if the NWA sanctions it, he'll just go no heart emoji and leave.
And I can, Tully says that Starrcade is going to be the best thing since sliced bread, and whoever will challenge him for the U.S. title will be in the money.
Absolutely. I do really get a kick out of the fact that baby Tully Blanchard looks very unidentifiable from like now 2024 Tully Blanchard. Like, my man has slimmed down, my man is bald as fuck, he's got the beard, the face is more gaunt. Like baby Tully Blanchard looks so fucking different. And then Arn Anderson just looks goddamn the same. Arn Anderson is not
Arn Anderson has always looked like he's at least 40 years old.
I know. Arn Anderson, the perpetual 40-year-old man, looking like no physical difference between 1985 and 2024. It's just the same fucking guy. The parallel there is beautiful. And then Rockers versus who gives a fuck?
The Rock and Roll Express versus Gene Ligon and Vernon Deaton.
Like I said, who the fuck cares and who the fuck gives a shit?
The Rock and Roll Express are so quick and so fast, and all they do is fucking work the knee.
I'm sure the dudes wearing generic monochromatic gear will defeat the dudes who have customized matching digs. But yes, work that fucking knee. And they do.
I didn't realize before this episode that, like, clearly the Rock and Roll Express's like go-to, like, slow it down, this match is an important match, is just working the knee until they win.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Rock and Roll Express, big on the submissions, it turns out.
Not what I would have thought, but whatever. They hit a double drop kick and win.
Yeah, we get a great freeze frame on whoever the blonde one is in the Rock and Roll Express, because they still win off of a pin. And when the ref is counting the pin, the blonde one who's getting the pin is like, 1, 2, like he's putting up his fingers, he's doing the 1, 2, 3 along with the ref.
Oh, that's Robert. I think that's Ricky Morton. Yeah,
okay.
I think Ricky Morton's the blonde one.
And they do a replay on the pin after the match, and then they freeze frame on Ricky Morton doing 2, but like he's like partway between 2 and 3, and his face is all fucked up. Again, these freeze frames, guys, just you have a week to put this shit together. Just move it a little bit so the guys look a little less terrible. Please, God, I'm begging you.
Yeah.
But now, it is time.
We are back to our third Magnum T.A. promo of the episode.
Here he is, boys. Here he is, world. Bob fucking Geigel.
Yeah, and so Bob Geigel, my entire note on this is Bob Geigel, noted bitch, says the rules are so rugged, the rules for this match are so rugged and so liberal.
And fuck liberals, we ain't doing shit with that. Get out of here. Get the fuck liberal.
It's probably the most dangerous match in wrestling today, and he just can't sanction the match.
Bob Geigel isn't thinking of the heat, brother.
He actually is like, there's too much heat. We can't run this match when these guys actually hate each other. It would be too dangerous.
We can't possibly have matches where dudes are just fucking like frothing at the mouth with seething hatred for each other. Meanwhile, tonight I am going to be watching Hangman Adam Page lose his mind.
This is why the NWA died.
Yeah, true.
This kind of cowardly leadership is why the NWA died.
It's just gone beyond sportsmanship. Boo! That's the whole fucking point, shit.
Absolute trash. But whatever. Magnum is pissed about this. He's ranting and raving. I didn't take a ton of notes on what he says.
I didn't.
But
either.
he's like, you're not the only man out there. Magnum says he's got one more man left to go to, and he's going to talk to him right now. And
this is where I was like, okay, I get it, because Magnum T.A. when he's going off, yeah, he's really fucking cool. He's going crazy. He tells Bob Geigel to go fuck himself. My man is living, and I was very much here for it. He won me over. I just need him to get especially fired up in his promos in order to feel it. Which fair enough. Not everyone can be Jake Roberts.
Fair.
But yeah,
true. Not everyone can win. Not everyone can be good without having to shout.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so this is why I picked to watch the Mid-Atlantic part. The real plot meat happens in the WCW episode as we get a reveal of who that other person he was talking to about this
I
is.
will have things to say about that.
I do have things, but Mid-Atlantic is the one where Magnum gets all the promos, and I'm like, we're trying to highlight Magnum in this arc. I gotta use this one.
No, I fully appreciate that. And again, I went on an arc with it because the first one I was like, yeah, he's still. The second one I'm like, okay, and then third one he goes off, which that was really cool to see. And then of course what is Mid-Atlantic without ending with one more stupid fucking jobber squash match.
No, there was a no. There was a Billy Jack Haynes interview.
Yeah.
I didn't take notes on it.
The only note I took, which is made especially funny by the yikes that has happened this week, is my only note was Billy Jack Haynes needs to go to hell and die for that haircut. I miss the days. I miss the days where the greatest crime I knew that Billy Jack Haynes committed was his haircut in 1985.
I mean, I think he calls out all the major heels. They are pretty quickly establishing him as a top babyface type of character for the show.
Yeah, he's like a big signing for them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big star in the Portland, Oregon area.
Yeah.
No, in the like Pacific Northwest wrestling, he was a big star. So like, it kind of is a big signing.
Yeah.
And then we get our last match of the show: Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard versus Brady Boone and Ricky Reed. Which I wrote Arn with the hat again and Dusty's title, I guess.
Yeah. That hat though. I will say it's crazy. Early on in the match, the jobbers actually like get Tully into their corner and start doing numbers game shit on him.
I noted this, and in the Tully match we get on WCW, it's interesting that like the jobber squash matches, when you're a baby face fighting a jobber, you win almost immediately. Just offense from the other person. If you're a heel fighting a jobber, the jobbers will get hits in on you because it's all about getting the crowd to cheer. Like the crowd wants to see these baby faces beat the heels, so they're going to get, even if they're jobbers, they're going to get something.
Absolutely. Which is still kind of crazy to see because it's like we're not focused so much on powering up the heels entirely as we are also like still crowd pleasing and letting them like watch these fuckers get hurt by the good guys, even if we don't know who the fuck these good guys are.
There's somebody fighting a guy that we don't like, so we're gonna throw our weight behind them.
Fucking true. But either way, Tully and Arn just murderize these jabronis in a couple minutes.
They win with a tag team maneuver, though. I was stunned. They hit a combo suplex face plant.
Yeah, fucking FTR ass shit out here. Prefiguring.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Crazy.
But yeah, there's a lot more back and forth to this match than I think you might assume there would be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looking at the matchup name here.
Yeah.
But then Bob Caudle signs us off to mention that we're excited to see Dusty return, and then there'll be more Starrcade updates next week.
Although we can barely hear that over the sound of the fucking Mid-Atlantic theme song blaring as Bob Caudle does the sign off. And then credits roll, fucking Virgil. And WCW time, baby.
Yeah, we go to World Championship Wrestling, and we open with a recap of the Jimmy Valiant Street Lady thing that they showed on Mid-Atlantic.
Boy, except
there is not as much redundant overlap between these two shows as there could have been.
Yes, which is nice.
They really do feel like two different shows.
Also, it is fucking crazy that on Peacock, this is like the earliest available episode of World Championship Wrestling. Like, that's fucking nuts. We open on this, like you said, this recap of Boogie Woogie Man versus the Jobber Ass Jabroni and the Midnight Express run-in. We do not get the Street Lady save in that video. And also, holy shit, the video quality on this is so much worse. Like, I don't know how the fuck the Mid-Atlantic shows got preserved so much better, but Austin...
than the ones that aired on TBS.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair. But this fucking episode of World Championship Wrestling looked like ass. And it sounded like ass, too. I had my headphones in, and I had, like, tinny robotic crackling in my ear the entire time. Oh, it was awful. But... Yeah, so David Crockett is here.
So by comparison, Bob Caudle hosts the Mid-Atlantic show in front of like not a green screen, but like a
little like backdrop.
Meanwhile, World Championship is hosted by David Crockett and Tony Schiavone, and they got a whole ass like stage set up here.
Yeah, which it was so confusing to me because for the longest time watching this episode, it was clear they had like a live studio audience as they were recording. I'm like, what is this set?
Yeah, okay.
Where is this?
They don't make it clear in this episode, but I've seen in other episodes.
Oh, I saw the very end.
Yeah, this setup is next to the ring.
Yeah, you see this. You can catch a glimpse of this at the very end of the episode. But they have this.
Oh yeah, you see this because Tully, when the Tully match, because he throws a fucking fit and then he just goes straight to the ring.
Yeah, which it looks like they're in like a whole ass studio, but it's literally just like a fucking like 2 walls of plywood with a floor and like a desk, like on a diagonal facing the ring, and you can just go one to the other. So the audience we hear is just the fucking the WCW audience just reacting to the talk show as it happens, which is crazy.
Yeah.
This crazy motherfucker Virgil has so much to explain about why the shit is this product like this. I don't know who this fucking Virgil guy is, but he's got some.
And then in 2019, NWA Power would ape this setup for their show.
Wait, really?
Like, they do the exact same, like, we have this interview stage area that is right next to the ring.
Oh my fucking God. That is hilarious. That is really funny. But anyway.
But, yeah, David Crockett and Tony Schiavone are here. They open with showing the same clips of the... Yeah, they open with showing the same clips of the Magnum Tully knocking each other out match.
Yeah, David Crockett makes sure to emphasize how Tully Blanchard and Magnum T.A. were pounding and pounding away for over 40 minutes.
Hell yeah, they were.
Yeah, brother.
Then we go to our first match. The Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez versus Tommy Lane.
Who...
We're getting some new name dudes in this show.
Yeah, seriously.
For WCW. I mean, I was like actually kind of excited for the beginning of this match because they were starting fast.
Yeah, they do like a fucking like
hard.
crisscross rope running into an arm drag. That was pretty cool.
They're going so fast, and then suddenly Raging Bull hits a crossbody off the ropes, and it was a sick crossbody to win the match. This move is called the Flying Burrito.
Burrito.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
Great. Anyway, Manny wins. This is the match I was most disappointed about because because for a second I thought we were going to get a good match.
I know. I was like, "Oh shit! All right, it's WCW." Like this is
I didn't have high expectations. I didn't have high expectations for any of the other matches. This one it started so hot and I was ready, and then never mind.
I just thought maybe that they could afford better matches for WCW TV. Like, it's fine.
We cut to ringside. We had a ringside interview. This interview was taped October 27th.
Ah, okay. Again, it's a medical impossibility.
All right, yeah, Ric Flair, he's talking about he's been defending the most prestigious trophy in all sports all over the world, from Tokyo, Japan, to Cleveland, Ohio, to Greensboro, North Carolina.
Those are the only three places that exist.
Ric Flair says that David Crockett seems to have forgot that he is very intelligent, college educated. My father is one of the greatest physicians in the whole state of Minnesota. So Ric Flair knows that Dusty Rhodes, regardless of the rumors, he knows it is medically impossible for him to compete in the toughest sport in the world. Look at Keith Byers.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for an Ohio State football shout out. Go
yeah,
Bucks.
Ric Flair says go Bucks.
He talks about Keith Byers genuinely was a top level running back at Ohio State in the mid 80s. What Ric Flair talks about him is totally legit, is that going into the 1985-84 season, he was set to be 85. It's the 85 season. He was set to be a Heisman Trophy finalist, one of the top awards in the country if you're one of those people that doesn't follow college football.
Yeah.
But then he broke his foot. He broke one of his toes in preseason practice,
shit.
all right? And he rushed his back early to try to salvage his own season, and it caused him to get injured again.
Bruh.
So he is making a direct comparison between what happened to Keith Byers with what Dusty Rhodes is trying to do right now.
Yeah, that's a hell of a crazy name drop, but I respect it. Go Bucks.
Yeah, when he was like the great All-American tailback from the Ohio State Buckeyes, I was like, what?
Whoa. Yeah, that fucking threw me for a loop too.
But I did write this big speech, a lot of my favorite, the best, in my opinion, the best part of Ric Flair's speech. So Dusty Rhodes and David Crockett, and anybody else out there that doesn't think that Ric Flair got the job done, think about Keith Byers, because he was going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. Ric Flair gets very serious and low voices during
He's
this part
eulogizing
of the promo.
Keith Byers' fucking career here. Jesus Christ.
And honestly, though, Keith Byers actually had a pretty decently successful NFL career.
Really?
This. Like,
well, that's
it actually,
nice.
It's not just his Heisman Trophy season got derailed, but like he went on and had like a decent career in the NFL. So, good for him.
Nice.
But he was going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. And now he's just another guy hoping to come back in the future. Dusty Rhodes, if you make the mistake, and let's be real honest with each other, if you make the mistake of thinking you're Ric Flair or the man that Ric Flair is, November 3rd, Atlanta, Georgia, or any place you try to get in that ring, I'll be there personally. And I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be gloating. And you're right. I'm going to be partying and driving the women wild. Because when I set my mind to do something, it gets done. And Ole and Gene Anderson and Ric Flair, woo! We know it's a man in a man's sport. And he is just like
Gene Anderson.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. It's not Arn.
I was gonna say, who the fuck is Gene Anderson? Did Ric Flair just forget Arn's name and make something up?
Sir, a third Anderson.
Oh, there apparently is a Gene Anderson.
There is a Gene Anderson. He used to be tag team partners with Ole, and then it was Arn.
And and Ric Flair just forgot. It's good to know that even in the year of our Lord 1985, Ric Flair's brain was fucking melting. So
Ric Flair is like, he's so great. He's the real. He's the jet. He's the kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, jet flying son of a gun, or whatever it is. And he's got 2 good legs. He makes sure to mention that.
And then I really cracks
like,
me up.
Book me if you can pay me. I'll be here.
What really cracks me up is the subtitles could not fucking keep up with Ric Flair's utterly gonzo promo style. Like, my man's talking a million miles a minute, and the subtitles like freeze on something and get like 2 sentences behind, and then they'll like rush to catch up and get like 3 sentences ahead. This shit's nuts. The subtitles on this could not. They were struggling. We cut back to the studio with the Andersons, not Gene.
With the Andersons.
Not
Ole
Gene.
and Arn.
Who are
Arn
apparently
says
Ric Flair's cousins?
Well, in kayfabe.
Yeah, but what?
I mean, Ole could. I mean, I don't know. Rick and Ole are both from Minnesota, so that's a maybe.
As we all know,
Arn is
that inbred fucking state of Minnesota.
Well, actually, Rick is from Tennessee. Rick is from Tennessee. He just went to the University of Minnesota. Ole is from Minnesota, and Arn is from Georgia. So none of them are related, for real. Anyway,
wait, Ole Anderson wasn't even an OG member of the Wrecking Crew. It was Lars Anderson.
Yeah, it was Lars and Gene, then Gene and Ole, then Ole and Arn.
So the Wrecking Crew have gone through a whole ass, like, in D&D, everybody's characters have died, but everyone's come back with new characters. So you've just like Ship of Theseus your entire team. We're rocking the Wrecking Crew of Theseus with this one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Arn says Ric Flair's a member of the family anybody would be proud of. And he's like, and he makes sure to be like, no, I don't take any disrespect from not being named in that. I don't take any disrespect from being not named in another promo. This title belt speaks for itself.
I'm not mad. So, I'm not mad.
Arn is like, so I hear Dusty has his cast off. And he may be long on guts, but he's short on brains. It's a medical impossibility. They love this phrase, medical impossibility, this week.
The medical realism, Austin. We gotta sell the drama.
Yeah, it's almost like Dusty's not actually hurt.
No, that's fucked up. Why would you say that? They're going to all these lengths to show us just how hurt he is. How the fuck can you say something like that? That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. But Arn says it's a medical impossibility for anybody to heal that quickly, and he also demands that Tony Schiavone recognize him as the real television champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ole opens his mouth, and this I kind of just passingly mentioned it before, but Ole and Arn are not even remotely related. They are put together, and they say they're related because the bookers thought they looked similar enough. Close enough that
I honestly think they related. Do.
Yeah, but and the best way you can tell they aren't related is hearing them talk, because Arn sounds like he's from Georgia, and Ole definitely sounds like he's from Minnesota.
The drawls are very different.
Austin
knows
drawls.
his fucking country drawls. Let me tell you.
Oh, he's like, Ole gets a couple promos on this show, and honestly, I've never heard Ole Anderson promos before, and I think he's pretty good. Yeah,
again, the big I hate fucking everything energy comes through loud and goddamn clear. Dusty
had a lot of guts.
I do think they do look similar, just for the record. Like, for a brief second when this segment started, I thought Ole was Arn, and oh my god, wait, in my notes I accidentally wrote Gene instead of Arn at one point. No.
And too many Andersons.
Too many Andersons. Anyway. Yes.
I mean, I do agree. I do kind of agree with what they were going for. I can, like, at a glance, they look like they could be related.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of letting them both talk. Is like, all right, now I got to suspend my disbelief on this.
No.
Because no way.
No way, brother.
But Ole's like, I thought Dusty had a lot of guts, but he doesn't have these belts. And he's like, maybe he doesn't have a lot of brains either. And he insists, he's like, Dusty is coming back too early. But he's like, hey, if you come back too early, we'll make sure that we do the job right. Ole Anderson spends the whole episode. Ole Anderson spends the entire episode threatening to literally murder people.
Again, big Ole Anderson
Dusty.
Energy. To be fair,
he threatens Dusty, and then he will talk about Magnum later.
Yes. Also, in the middle of Ole's fucking speech here, we cut to just a random member of the audience holding up a picture of Ole, like not even like a giant, like a fucking 8x10 of Ole Anderson. Outstanding.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
then we get the second.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we go to the second match of the show. Buddy Landel, the Nature Boy, versus Tony Zane.
And Jesus Christ, I blinked. What happened? The match is over.
Yeah, Buddy Landel just hit all his big moves and won.
Okay,
I was fascinated by
moves implies that this match took more than 5 fucking seconds to complete. He hits
like a body slam, a knee drop, a spinning elbow drop, and then he hits the figure 4.
Yeah.
And the commentary spends the entire match talking about Dusty Rhode instead.
This match.
Though I will say it was really cute when they showed the replay of the end. They do a replay of Buddy Landel hitting the body slam, and you can see J.J. Dillon in the background pantomiming the body slam.
Oh, that's cute.
Then we cut to an interview with Buddy Landel and James J. Dillon.
Yep.
JJ is like, well, you have to set goals and achieve them along the way. And he's like, maybe we made a mistake focusing on Ric Flair and the world title. Buddy Landel, not good enough to be a world title guy yet.
Even though he is also the Nature Boy and is just Ric Flair 2.0 for some reason.
And James J. Dillon says he's got his sights set on Terry Taylor's national heavyweight title. And they want it at Starrcade. And as at this point, I must say, I've never rated Buddy Landel very much before. And, I got to apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's going on to face Austin's favorite wrestler ever, Terry Taylor.
I'll be rooting for the real Nature Boy at Starrcade. Buddy Landel.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. I hope Terry Taylor wins. I hope, just because it'd be so funny.
I disagree personally.
You go
And then James J. Dillon is like, if I've been guilty of anything up until now, it's being too nice.
Oh yeah,
which is very funny. Sure. After we saw the clip of him choking out Ron Bass with a bull rope in the prior episode, it's very funny to think that he's like, if I've done anything wrong, it's that I've been too nice.
Yeah, next time I should just fucking slit Ron Bass's throat, obviously.
Be done with it.
Yeah,
but JJ has apparently told Buddy that they're going to go out there, stop prancing around, and just start hurting people. It's time to go.
Is that not what you were doing? Okay. So next match, Rock and Roll Express versus Who Gives a Fuck?
Mike Davis and George South.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It is the exact same match as the other one that we watched in Atlantic. They just work the leg until they win.
And then another random cut to someone in the crowd with a Rock and Roll Express picture. These people were really cooking with the fucking 8x10s. Those goofy ass smart signs at WCCW. They're not gonna go anywhere as a trend. The fucking this is where it's at, having 8x10s of your favorite wrestlers that the camera's close up on. Thank you.
Best part is during the pin, Ricky Morton stands there and stares down the jobber from not interfering to break up the pin.
I know, which I noticed that too. I was like, what? You could have done that. You could have just run in, but no, you're incapable.
Woo-hoo. Now we cut to an interview with Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
Tully is like, Magnum's had his one shot. It was an awesome match, but I'm still the U.S. champion. And Tully Blanchard apparently received the message from Bob Geigel personally. I don't know why that was the case.
Did he,
Magnum
and also,
is the one who
how
sent the
did
letter.
He get sent like a VHS tape or something?
Yeah, I want to know this logic. Why? Magnum's the one who asked for it. Why did they send it to Tully?
I don't know. It concerns him too. I have to say, it's really funny. So the crowd in the crowd during the matches is not nearly as lively as the Mid-Atlantic crowd. Like, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. But during some of these fucking interview segments, they have like the same energy as the studio audience of Maury. This fucking Tully Blanchard promo.
They recognize the important parts of this show.
Yeah, true. They're like, we're wrestling on my World Championship Wrestling. Where's the story, brother?
When they're like, we need a video package.
We need a video package to jangle some keys in front of our face. God damn. So we see the Bob Geigel tape a second time. Nothing has changed. No heart emoji.
Yeah, and Tully is all cocky, and he's like, Magnum T.A, go back to the farm. You thought you had some clout in professional wrestling. Now you see who has the pull.
He once again, by the way, fucking emphasizes that Starrcade is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Thank you, Tully.
He really likes that idea. He really likes that, you know.
He's just a big fan of Starrcade.
Line.
He really loves those two R's right next to each other.
Yeah.
But it is time for match number whatever.
For Billy Jack Haynes versus the Black Cat, which I quickly Googled to make sure because I was curious, which came first, the Black Cat or Black Cat by Janet Jackson?
Oh,
of course, the answer was the wrestler. Black Cat was released in 1990.
So Janet Jackson was a huge WCW fan, is what I'm hearing.
That is what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
The Black Cat, though, is a black dude in a singlet and a black cat mask. That's
you know what? It could have been less dignified. They went pretty chill with it.
But whatever. Billy Jack Haynes wins.
Commentary is very taken with Billy Jack Haynes's particularly muscular build. Again, back in the days where like wrestlers were just built as dudes who you would fight in a bar. But this Billy Jack Haynes guy, he's on something crazy. He's got like all these fucking muscles. Who'd have thunk of being utterly fucking ripped as a wrestler? Revolutionary idea. It'll never catch on though. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And then once again we are back in the studio with Dr. Swanik.
Dr. Swanik and Tony Schiavone filmed an interview on October 18th. 1985.
Why are they so out of chronology? Why is it like?
Which I want to emphasize now that this interview is taking place 3 days after Dusty Rhodes' reported timeline for his return. Remember that.
Wait. What do you mean?
Because the interview with Dusty, where he's like, November 3rd, that's my date, was filmed October 15th, and this was filmed October 18th.
Oh, okay.
So it's been 3 days.
It's been 3 fucking days. And then we already saw
Rick Swanik is like,
was cut on like the 27th or something. Brother.
Yeah. But Swanik is like, Dusty is making great progress on the rehab after 3 days. And he's like, I think it would be very reasonable for him to try to make it back on November 3rd. And Tony is like, they have taken the initial cast off and they've been switched to an air cast.
Which is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I guess it was pretty cutting edge sports medicine tech at this point. In 85. I don't know.
1985, this newfangled thing
They go to a law. Swanik goes through the entire process of explaining how an air cast works.
I know.
And then, in the interview, there are 2 boots on the table.
Yes.
And Tony Schiavone is like, on the right-hand side of your screen is a regular wrestling boot, that Dusty Rhodes wears to the ring.
That Dusty Rhodes
right
wears.
Next to him, though. Next to Tony, though, is this big honking white boot that has apparently been custom made and is steel reinforced like a construction worker's boot to help Dusty have the room to wrestle with the air cast on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll get some great wrestling out of a steel enforced boot. Holy fuck. It does crack me up though, because Tony Schiavone talks about how Dusty has both of these boots are in fact custom made from the Austin Hall Boot Company in El Paso, Texas. Shout out to this episode's sponsor, the Austin Hall Boot Company in El Paso, Texas. Use code Dusty at checkout for 20% off your next purchase.
Hey!
Thank you. But like he mentions multiple times the Austin Hall Boot Company in El Paso, Texas. They really want you to shop at Austin Hall, brother.
So it seems like Dusty is on track to come back, and when he does, he'll be wearing a special reinforced boot. More on that later.
With an air cast. Outstanding.
We get Magnum T.A. versus Keith Eric, and once again, Magnum hits one move and wins.
Yeah, it doesn't even have Keith Eric doesn't even have the self-respect to be a Von Eric. How are we supposed to take him remotely seriously? Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy.
Then we get an interview with superstar Billy Graham, and tonight he is supposed to have an arm wrestling match for $5,000 with the Barbarian, and then have to wrestle Abdullah the Butcher.
Yes. There's some little girl in the crowd with a superstar I love your shirt sign, which is okay.
Cool.
But yes.
So Billy is about to start talking about it, and then in runs Paul Jones, who is the manager of both men involved. And Paul Jones is like, you look like a fortune teller, and I'm fixing to tell your fortune. And so Paul Jones emphasizes again that like it's his man that he's going to fight for the arm wrestling contest in, and it's also Paul Jones' money. Apparently, Paul Jones is legally obligated to pay out the $5,000 if Billy wins this one. And so Paul Jones has set it up, though, that the match with Abdullah the Butcher goes first, which was not the plan, and Billy is not happy about that.
No, he's not.
Because he rightfully reads that as Paul Jones trying to make sure he can't win the arm wrestling contest by forcing him to wrestle Abdullah first.
And Billy Graham was like, I'm not gonna do that. I want my arm wrestling match first. Where's the Barbarian? Then he proceeds to go do the normal.
And then match anyway. Where's the Barbarian? And then he's like, I'm gonna go beat that fat slob from the Sudan.
Yeah, and he's like, never mind. I'm gonna do a wrestling match first anyway. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, so this is a pretty big moment for us on the podcast in the sense that it's our first time seeing Abdullah the Butcher. It's not a good first impression, I think, of Abdullah because he didn't blade and he didn't stab anyone with a fork. So not a very representative sign of Abdullah the Butcher.
He does have the Iron Sheik boots though. They're all curly at the end.
Yeah, because he's from the Sudan.
He's from the Sudan. So is there some great
Armand Hussein could have been cooking if he had Abdullah the Butcher in his group instead of whoever the fuck.
Adnan
instead of the Magic Dragon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fucking true. Is there some significance to Abdullah the Butcher? Like, is he particularly legendary?
Yeah, he is one of the most legendary deathmatch dudes ever.
Oh shit.
Like, we should probably look up some of his shit, but like his hardcore matches with like Mick Foley and Bruiser Brody.
Oh, this guy.
Yep, the Butcher.
This guy. Oh shit. I've seen pictures of him, and I feel like, oh fuck.
Yeah, dude is a legendary all-time wrestler. One of the greatest hardcore deathmatch dudes ever, with blade scars so deep on his forehead that according to Mick Foley, he could put gambling chips in them.
What the shit? That's crazy.
I know that some wrestlers have extremely obvious blading scars. Dusty Rhodes had real bad ones. We'll see a guy later on the show with some nasty fucking blading scars.
Yes, we will. Holy
hell. Abdullah the Butcher was in his own category for blading scars.
Fucking crazy.
So we will need to watch an Abdullah hardcore match at some point. Too legendary of a wrestler for to not. But this time he doesn't really get to do anything.
Yeah.
He jumps Billy before the mat, before Billy can even get his shirt off. This is actually a decent kind of back and forth. They're throwing shit they're choking out each other with the cord cables.
Yeah.
And headbutting each other. Abdullah is like headbutting Billy's arm so he can be injured for the arm wrestling contest. That's psychology, baby. Psychology.
Yeah.
Paul Jones has like a big cane, like a pimp cane, not a pimp cane really, but like it's got like one of those. It's like one of those like old money kind of canes where there's like a fancy head topper on it. He whacks Billy Graham in the head with the cane. And in the end, the Barbarian ends up running in anyway, and they throw the match out on a disqualification. And then Barbarian, Abdullah, and Paul Jones just keep whooping Billy Graham's ass.
That's fucked up. That's really fucking awful. Yeah,
Barbarian
they just murder him. They just murder him.
Yeah, so I wonder what old Billy Graham will be doing at Starrcade. I can't imagine.
That's such a mystery to me. Doing. That's the we're not setting up anything. Yeah, so the
arm wrestling contest is officially called off in light of what happened.
Yeah, no clean win, of course, because again we have to set up for that Starrcade shit. But yeah, Billy Graham has been murderized.
And then because of what happened, they throw to a standby match.
Yeah, okay, which Tony Schiavone is very surprised that this WCW TV match did not hit its time limit. And then he says, luckily, we always have a standby, which makes me question, are just half of these shows standby matches in kayfabe? Because, like, all of them are 2 fucking second jobber squashes? Are half these matches just randomly thrown together on standby?
No, I guess you could argue that they expected to have to do the arm wrestling contest too.
Oh, sure.
So
he doesn't say that, of course, but you can imply.
He doesn't say that, but that would make sense.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, they felt like this is a they got to make this seem real, right? So like they kayfabe a reason for like, oh no, a match took less time than we expected because it's a live match. That's always possible.
That's crazy.
So we film backup matches to fill airtime in these circumstances.
Just in case.
And so we get to watch Pistol Pez Watley versus Benny Trailer.
Which, okay. So this is the point in the show where I started going a little bit crazy, and clearly with boredom, and so clearly so the fuck did commentary, because Tony Schiavone would like to. We opened the commentary for this match wishing a very happy anniversary to Jimmy and Rhonda of Denver upon their like fucking 30th wedding anniversary or something like that. A bunch of fucking old people from 2 old people from Denver are big fans of WCW, I guess. And then so we're doing like, this is the match doesn't fucking matter, so we're talking about literally anything else on commentary, and we're also wishing a happy wedding just to these people getting married, to Joe and Julie.
Yeah, you can apparently mail in to WCW to get them to give you a shout out on air,
which is really funny because
they blur out it's funny. They blur out the address to send it to, but then Tony says it out loud.
Yes. Yeah, great censoring there, guys. We
gotta send a letter to WCW to get them to shout out our podcast.
Obviously, I would love to see what the fuck is at that address now, and what sort of reply we get. Dear WCW, But the
I hope it's just one person who's had to like get take these letters for like 30 years and is just very tired of
it. Yeah. Like once every like 6 months or something, they get this shit from someone who likes watching old like WCW stuff on the network and is like, what the fuck? But anyway, but yes, they also wish a happy wedding to Julie and John Laurinaitis, gaga, and this is where I started losing my mind, because after this, I just kept kind of going on like Wikipedia deep dives for the rest of the episode. So I heard Joe and Julie Laurinaitis, and I was like, "There's no way." Cursory search.
No way, that's them.
No, cursory search. There does not seem to be any relation to Johnny Ace and affiliates. But when looking up Johnny Ace, he's apparently related to like a fuck ton of other people that I didn't know about. I don't know how I've missed this in the past. So John Laurinaitis is apparently the brother of Road Warrior Animal, whose real name... Wait, Joe Laurinaitis. Wait, hold up. Maybe that was him. Wait. Hold up. Personal life of Joe Laurinaitis. Wait. Laurinaitis and his ex-wife Julie have 2 children. Son James, born in 1986. Wait, that might have been them. What?
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
They broke kayfabe to wish Road Warrior Animal a happy wedding.
Wait. His wife Julie. Yeah. What the shit? How did I not notice this when I googled it the first time? What the fuck? Holy shit! So apparently that's the Road Warrior Animal, who is brothers with John Laurinaitis, who is also brothers with the Terminator, aka Marcus Laurinaitis, who was the this shit goes so deep. The original the Terminator was part of the Wrecking Crew with fucking the Wrecking... Oh no, the Wrecking Crew isn't that's not... Well, we'll get to that later. He is John Laurinaitis is also the uncle of James Laurinaitis, who's an American football coach, former player, and Austin, the current linebacker coach for Ohio State.
Yeah, he was also top linebacker for Ohio State. Right about when I started watching, actually, like 2005.
That's fucking crazy.
Like I knew about him.
And Johnny Ace is also apparently now the stepfather of the Bella twins.
I'm surprised you didn't know that already. But yeah,
I did not know that.
He married the Bella twins' moms, which I guess he was going for the full set on that of the Bella twins.
Wait, what?
Because it's been rumored that he fucked the Bella twins. That's been a rumor, that's been a rumor for a while. But yeah, that's when Max Caster talks shit about Daniel Bryan's father-in-law. That is who he was talking about.
What the shit? That's so funny. So that's fucking crazy. More on my deep dives later. But yes, I will say, whenever I tuned back into this match, it was actually kind of like cool.
It's the best matches on these episodes. It's still super one-sided, by the way. Like Benny Traylor doesn't do shit.
Pistol Pez Watley
beats the shit out of him. But he does like real wrestling moves. He does like a gut wrench suplex at some point, and we
do get a fucking like jump stomp onto Benny Traylor right across the face, according to Shivani, even though we can clearly see that he's just stomping on the ground on either side of Traylor's head. Good job.
And then we get this long sequence where he like tries to get in the Boston Crab piece by piece. He like has Benny on his back. He pulls his legs up, and then he pulls up Benny to where his back is lifted off the ground. Then he turns Benny on his back. Then he locks in the Boston Crab position. Then he's going to do the sit down and finish it, but Benny gets the ropes first.
I will say there's also a really cool running theme in this of Benny Trailer like refusing to keep his shoulders down for the count. Like he keeps shooting one of his shoulders up to avoid the pinfall count, which I kind of appreciated that, and I think that was part of that sequence too, is he keeps like shooting his shoulder up, and that's awesome. But yeah, I missed them saying these wrestlers' names like at the beginning of the match, but I was trying to pick up on who they were because the match was actually going for a decent amount of time. So I'm like, okay, maybe I actually want to know who these guys are and talk about them. So I just
Googled Pez Watley and was like, oh, okay, that's the one.
See, I missed the first names for a little while. For a hot second, I was only getting the last names, and this is crazy. In looking up Watley versus Trailer for like to see if I can find these guys. Looking up Watley versus Trailer WCW, I learned that this was not the only time we got a Watley versus Trailer match on WCW TV, as I found a match on YouTube between Shaska Watley and Ray Trailer, aka the Big
I knew Trailer was going to be Big Boss Man. I didn't know where the Watley was going.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, I guess that was his actual for real name.
Yeah, that's his real name.
I don't know if I can't remember if I knew already that he was like for shoot an actual former corrections officer from Cobb County, Georgia.
I don't know if I knew that either, but that checks out.
Like the actual, so he just shows up in WWF and Vince McMahon's like, I need a cop, and he's like, well, I was a cop, and he's like, perfect.
All right, you're hired.
Perfect.
Pez, by the way, wins with a flying headbutt.
Yeah.
Like jumps off he jumps off the ropes and jumps so high he headbutts Trailer.
Yeah.
He doesn't go off the top ropes, he just runs off the ropes and jumps at him like a crossbody.
Who'd have fucking thunk that two wrestlers of color would be the ones putting on the best match of the show with almost no fanfare? Crazy. Like, the commentary could not give a shit, and these guys are putting on a relative fucking banger compared to anything else that's on this show. God damn it.
Yeah, but like neither of these guys are big names. Who fucking cares?
Fuck off. No.
We move on to James J. Dillon and Black Bart. James J. Dillon is very mad that Sports Illustrated is polling right now for Manager of the Year, and right now he is in like third or fourth. He is like, what? Why am I not number one?
Well, because fuck you, that's why.
And he's like, and then JJ is like, he talks about how he's known Billy Jack Haynes for a while now, and he knows some shit. They've been through some shit, and his boys are gonna beat him up. So
yeah, fuck you.
And then Black Bart is like, I want to talk about Ronnie Bass.
And oh my god,
Starrcade. I could not understand this fucking dude.
Yeah,
what he was saying.
Man, talk the fuck about deep cut blading scars. Holy hell.
Like his forehead is fucked up real
fucking
bad.
Crazy.
But he is just shouting about Ron Bass, and he starts hitting himself in the head with the cowbell like a freak.
Yeah, he needs more cowbell. And then
we move on. It's time for an interview with Jim Crockett to give us an update on Starrcade and all that. Though we do get the announcement of the next
Starrcade matches sound very exciting.
Next week we are watching Billy Jack Haynes versus Thunderfoot.
Oh boy.
1v1, bro. But then next week we will find out who Ric Flair is wrestling at Starrcade. It could be anybody, really.
Who could it be?
But Cornette also announces the signing of a Mexican death match between Manny Fernandez and Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to be watching a death match from
as
he puts his sombrero on the line.
His beautiful sombrero, as Jim Crockett tells us.
Well, so I just mentioned we need to watch some actual hardcore wrestling for Abdullah to get an appreciation of him.
Yeah,
Well, I hear we are.
There we
A Mexican death match.
Holy shit!
It has also been announced that Terry Taylor will be defending his title at Starrcade, though we haven't signed an opponent yet.
He is committed to Starrcade, though. Woo! Let's fucking go!
And then Jimmy Valiant has told Jim Crockett he wants a spot. He doesn't have a match in mind. He just wants a spot.
He just wants.
And then for Tully and Magnum.
Yes,
all right.
As Jim Crockett says, one thing we need to solve is Tully Blanchard versus Magnum T.A., which
that's
I feel like Geigel has already solved this, but okay.
All right, we cut to footage from October 22nd.
Oh, yes,
where Magnum is the most noted babyface, in quite some time. As a matter of fact, honestly, I'm gonna, noted babyface, Magnum T.A. because Magnum is being interviewed. See, I gotta sign
noted. It has been
Magnum
noted. There is
T.A.
now a note of it.
I'm noting it right here because Magnum T.A. is getting interviewed, and Baby Doll is interrupted. Baby Doll is just talking shit as usual, right? And Magnum is like, I think it's time for someone to show you what it's like to be with a real man. And he just starts kissing. He just starts kissing Baby Doll.
Just making the fuck
just making out hardcore style.
And I think Shivani or David Crockett on commentary like, she likes it. It was a big Jerry Lawler moment. She likes it, JR. She likes it. Puppies. Woo!
And it's like, no, and she most certainly does not.
She very much
does not. Because she slaps the shit out of him and she goes to walk away. Magnum tries to rip at her dress to get her to come back here.
Yeah.
And then Tully runs in and noted babyface behavior here. And then Tully runs in and starts whooping Magnum's ass. I think I'm on Tully Blanchard's side here.
Hashtag Tully did nothing wrong. Fuck this guy. Jesus.
But whatever. This is an intense, serious feud now. And Jim Crockett says it's gotten out of hand. And he's like, with all due respect to the NWA President, Bob Geigel. It says here in the NWA bylaws that if I got a match contract signed, and I think that it would be for the good of wrestling and the good of the performers, I can add any stipulation that I want to a match. And I got this contract here for Tully Blanchard and Magnum T.A. And so I am sanctioning the I Quit match in a cage.
Which I really... this is a contract he has left over from like a few months ago, and
he's just been sitting on that.
And he makes it sound like it's a contract only from Tully Blanchard. Did he just have like a random ass like blank contract that Tully signed for, like, oh yeah, I'll do a match at some point? I don't fucking know. Also, how's there not something in the NWA bylaws that once the fucking NWA president makes an announcement about something,
this
can't go over his head on it? How does any of this work?
There is no better symbolism of the current relationship between Jim Crockett Promotions and the NWA than where the NWA president has laid down the law and Jim Crockett said, actually, I'm going to do whatever I want.
It's a fucking power move. Oh my God. They're telling the NWA to go fuck itself on live TV. Jim Crockett Promotions walked so that ECW could run. Let's fucking go.
This is insane to me.
Wait, was Bob Geigel also the president when ECW told the NWA to go fuck itself? Is it the same guy?
Was he? I didn't think he was, but now I do need to look up who was the NWA president at the time.
Damn, Bob.
No, it was Dennis. It was Dennis Coraluzzo.
Okay, I couldn't remember
who they told to fuck off.
Okay, that's fucking crazy though. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's hysterical. Yeah, so after that, Tully Blanchard has a match with Denny Brown. But first, Tully Blanchard is at the interview area and is completely apoplectic. He's like, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. And he is just so mad. He like rips the title belt off of him and just storms to the ring.
Yeah.
And like, again, honestly, I kind of think Tully has a good point here. That,
yeah,
you know,
seriously.
Magnum asked the fucking board, the president of the NWA, to sanction this match. The highest authority in the land, you would argue. And he is like, and the board president says no. So he just runs off to Jim Crockett to go over his head about it.
Yeah, what the shit? Oh my god, absolutely terrible.
And we're supposed to be on Magnum's side because we want to see Magnum kill Tully Blanchard.
No,
but as an outsider who's only been here for like 3 weeks, I'm 100% on Tully's side on this.
Yeah, I don't see what the fuck Tully's done wrong. He's doing everything by the book. It's Magnum T.A. and Jim fucking Crockett that are being little shits about this. I'm on Tully's side. I hope Tully fucking kills Magnum, actually.
Yeah. So Denny Brown gets a decent amount of offense in here because, again, the crowd wants to see Tully get his ass handed to him. So like the jobber actually does get a little bit of shine here. But I mean, Tully wins with the slingshot suplex, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Like, again, because we gotta let the bad guy get beaten up a little bit. I took the story of the match as like Tully's like insane fucking frothing in the mouth anger over this like made him sloppy and opened him up to a decent amount of punishment from the jobber.
That would be that. I think that's a fair in story reading why it is the way it is. I kind of had the same thought.
Yeah, because he takes a decent beating from the guy. But yeah, he still gets the dub, of course. We go back to the set.
The fucking Andersons are here.
The Andersons are here to be.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, Crockett? Ole Anderson threatening legal action.
Again,
him and
Ole
Tully
Anderson
both talk about how good a lawyer's Tully has.
Again, Ole Anderson not playing a lawyer, or not playing a character here. He's just he just wants to sue Jim Crockett for fun. IRL for
no,
sure.
Ole Anderson sticks up for the NWA president. He's right.
Yeah.
But then Ole is like, we don't kid, we don't joke, we don't mess around. Magnum, there's a lot of time between now and Starrcade. You have 4 weeks. You better have police around you 24/7. Because if we get one chance, we're going to take him right out of this world.
Kill you.
He will. Ole Anderson will kill Magnum
Ole
T.A.
Anderson's about to hire an assassin to murk Magnum T.A.
Meanwhile, Anderson.
One more thing. My random, again, brain broken, like, fucking wrestling Wikipedia deep dive continues. I learned that if you type Arn Anderson's name into Google, the suggestion you get on the dropdown is not American wrestler, but American author. As far as I'm aware, Arn Anderson has not written a single book in his life. Get fucked.
Who the fuck is American? What is he authored? Why is it Arn Anderson?
Nothing. I looked on his.
It says he authored a book.
What?
Wikipedia calls him an author.
Arn Anderson, My Life is the Enforcer. Oh, in 2024. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's releasing a book. Okay.
Wait.
Great.
He's not even the fucking sole guy on this. He co-wrote it with 3 other dudes.
Dirk Manning,
Colm Griffin, and Sean Daly.
Oh damn, that book is coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh shit. So no longer so actually, Arn Anderson, you are no longer a wrestler according to the internet. You are now an author, and that is all you've ever been. Fuck you. But
yeah, anyway, Arn is fucking pissed because he's like, I'm hearing that Dusty is gonna have a steel worker's boot. He's like, I don't get mad about a lot of things, but he is mad about this. And
when our gimmick is the Wrecking Crew, we should have steel worker boot.
It's funny to me watching a heel be mad about this because it feels very much like I'm mad because I would do a dirty tactic. Like they're mad that like Dusty Rhodes is going to try to injure them with this worker's boot.
Actually,
and it's
why
like
didn't
a heel
I think of this first?
Yeah, a heel doing that has happened before. They making a gimmick out of like, oh, I have this protective, like using a cast as a weapon is a thing in wrestling.
What's his nuts? In the Attitude Era, with the body cast, European champion, Nation of Domination.
Oh, D'Lo Brown with D'Lo Brown with the chest protector.
Yeah,
and Cowboy Bob Orton with his forever broken arm that he it hits people with the cast.
That's crazy.
So it feels like a heel being projecting. Like Arn Anderson knows he would do shitty shit with a boot, with a cast in it. So he just assumes Dusty is going to, and he cries how that's unfair.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's supposed to be our shit. God damn it! Stop gimmick stealing.
Yes, so he thinks Dusty is getting an unfair advantage, getting allowed to wrestle in a special boot.
And yeah, they're just all mad. And again, Dusty's probably in the right here, but you know, these poor future horsemen can't seem to catch a break right now.
No, they can't.
No, that's unfortunate.
Then our next match, Nikita Koloff versus Mac Jeffers, return
There's
of the Mac.
There's a third Jeffers. There are 4 Andersons.
It's like
there are 3 Jeffers.
3 Jeffers. It's the Jeffers thing. It's like how, like in Game of Thrones, every nation has like a name they give to a bastard with no family name. Snow is the North's, for example.
Oh, shit.
That's why he's Jon Snow, right? Is because he's a bastard son with no proper family name. My point is, in WCW, it's like that, where if you're a jobber, your last name is Jeffers.
Are they all related? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Nikita beats the shit out of this dude. It's not even worth mentioning. But I will say, when he hits the lariat he used, they call it the sickle. And I'm like, what the fuck? They called this the hammer in Mid-Atlantic.
Oh my God. It changes depending on which promotion you're in.
And then we go to an interview with the Russians. Nikita Koloff is speaking in a thick accent, and therefore I couldn't tell you a thing he says. He's like, La Dusty Rhode,
oh my God,
the American dream.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck he said, and the subtitles don't either. The subtitles are like they say indistinguishable half the fucking time.
It really was indistinguishable. And then
that was so
Crusher
funny.
Khrushchev is here, and he is like, he's there to talk shit about the Road Warriors.
Yeah. After Nikita Koloff is done allegedly saying words, Crusher Khrushchev opens his mouth and speaks in a perfectly clear American accent. And okay, once again, actually, say what he said, and then I'll do my once again.
No, so Crusher Khrushchev, which, by the way, that is spelled KRH on that.
Yeah.
For both of those.
For
Khrushchev.
both Crusher and Khrushchev, we might add.
Yeah. It would be funnier if this Crusher was KRH than Khrushchev was CR. Just completely defying expectations on that. So Crusher Khrushchev is talking shit about the Road Warriors, and he's talking about how how they're not accepting their challenge. They've run off to Japan to fight 5'10" Japs. Yeah, that's what he says about it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Which the Road Warriors probably are on like an excursion to Japan right now. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
They had a lot of runs in Japan, very popular. You know, I've said it before. Japanese fans love foreigners who are big and hit hard. Yeah. Love those dudes.
Yeah,
long history of those dudes being successful in Japan. You know, Japan. Andre the Giant, Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, Vader, the High Pop Road Warriors, the Steiner brothers, massively successful.
Hogan.
Oh. Hell yeah, dude! He won the G1, brother. I was the IWGP champion, dude.
The most important belt of all, dude. All the other ones are trash, brother.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun time where you got mad at Meltzer for reporting about that.
That's funny.
Yeah. And that was where he started his hatred of Dave Meltzer that led to him burning a copy of The Observer live on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. That's some big burning our Nikes energy because we're mad about Colin Kaepernick. Like, oh yeah.
It's also hysterical because he bought a copy of The Observer just to burn it. That showed him.
And also on fucking like full ass pay-per-view too, like giving The Observer free advertising on pay-per-view.
This is what we call a rag sheet, brother.
You do realize, Hogan, that more people hate you than like you, right? Like the people will not be swayed.
Also, funniest part is, of course, he was bitching about The Observer reporting that Randy Savage was injured, and in fact, Randy Savage wrestled on the show to prove how not injured he was. Randy Savage was absolutely injured, and he re-injured his injury by forcing himself to wrestle just to spite Meltzer.
Oh, yeah.
So, congratulations, idiots.
Meltzer derangement syndrome. The overlap.
Meltzer derangement syndrome went hard on that.
The overlap of people who have a deep-seething hatred of Dave Meltzer and the people who are deeply not okay is a fucking circle. There is no Venn diagram. It is the same people. Anyway,
back to this. Then Ivan Koloff jumps in, and he is just talking about, he talks up how like all the Americans are afraid of them, and then the best challenges are here in North Carolina.
Okay.
And he talks about how this will be the end of the Rock and Roll Express will be at Starrcade 85. He talks about how he's seen people get ears ripped off in cage matches and shit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So then,
well, okay.
Next match, unless you have something you want to say about the interview.
Crusher Khrushchev. So, I looked at this man and I said, he looks vaguely familiar. And to me, he looked a little bit like Lord Tenzai, but I was like, I know.
Oh my god, now I know who Crusher Khrushchev is!
Yup. And I was like, that's not right. So I look it up. Crusher Khrushchev is not only is he American hanging out with Soviets, he is the future Smash, which also makes him the future fucking Repo Man.
Repo Man.
Also,
I didn't really think about it, but then like you mentioned, he's somebody else, and I looked at that face and was like, "Holy fuck, I knew that is."
Something I learned is that apparently Crusher Khrushchev was not the original Smash.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently, what it is. So Barry Darsow is his real name. Barry Darsow,
yep, correct.
Also known as Mr. Hole-in-One and the Repo Man and Smash and Sarmongo. So in Demolition, it was Axe and Smash for the original two. But so I clicked over to Demolition's Wikipedia page just for the hell of it, and listed as the members of Demolition are Axe, Smash, and then Smash in parentheses original. The original Smash was Moondog Rex, Randy Colley. And he was the original Smash for about like, I don't know, a couple fucking weeks until they decided that like actually he would be too recognizable to the fans as Moondog Rex, so they replaced him.
He actually was. The crowd was chanting Moondog at him.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah. So they were like, shit, fine.
You're like, fuck. That's really funny. The crowd recognized him. So they replaced him with the artist formerly known as Crusher Khrushchev. What the
hell yeah.
What the
anyway, we get Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev versus two dudes I didn't get the names of in time.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I absolutely stopped trying to take match notes at this point.
David Crockett on commentary is like, now this is ostensibly a 2v. So this is like these two jobbers versus Ivan Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, and Nikita Koloff. Now, ostensibly, this is a 2v2 match, but we know these fuckers are going to cheat and play the numbers game, so I'm just going to list all three of them anyway. Great bit from David Crockett there.
But the Russians win with the sickle.
Yeah,
okay.
They do get. I actually did get at least one of the names here. Jerry Garman is like the second guy they beat up in this match. Like this other tag team gets exactly one tag in before, in this entire match. And so the second guy they beat up is Jerry Garman, who was wearing the exact same ring gear as Benny Traylor from earlier, so much so that I thought I had maybe misheard so badly that was not actually Benny Traylor but Jerry Garman, because they're two black dudes, they have very similar hairstyles, and they were wearing, let me emphasize this, the exact same fucking ring gear. You think they were
sharing? Gotta have more
sharing
variety in our jobbers, man.
I think they had a cute little thing going. But they do get Jerry Garman hard way bleeding from the mouth from just the brutal shit they're putting him through, which is crazy.
Fun. All right. Last match, finally.
Also, for the record, even though this was some squash ass shit, of course, Nikita still managed to slip in some cheat shenanigans.
Yeah. So it's Jimmy Valiant versus Jimmy Black.
Two Jimmys.
Jimmy Valiant. Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, Dad. Jimmy Valiant beats the shit out of Black for a little bit. Then that woman comes in again. She pulls the ref aside. The street lady. She pulls the ref aside. Starts macking on Jimmy Valiant.
She just waltzes into the ring, by the way. I can't emphasize enough. She just fucking waltzes into the ring. She just kind of appears from the crowd, waltzes into the ring. And yeah, pulls the ref aside.
Absolutely hysterical.
Kisses Jimmy Valiant right the fuck on the lips.
And then it's all right. The match goes on, I guess.
Equal opportunity sexual assault here in WCW. As much as we saw.
And then Jimmy Black tries to take advantage of this, but then that woman hits him with a straight right hook to the face, and he is knocked the fuck out, and Jimmy Valiant pins him for the win.
He's just fucking dead. And as Valiant leaves the ring, you can see just the ref checking on Jimmy Black. He's hitting him in the face hey, buddy, are you okay? Are you alive? Jimmy Black has died, actually.
And then we get an interview with Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette is mad, and he is he is trying to assert that Jimmy Valiant is lying to us all. This has all been a plan. He knows who this woman is. He's one of the many women who he owes child support to. Yeah. That's why she's here.
Big mad Jim Cornette putting on his tinfoil hat. This promo is indistinguishable from an episode of his podcast. And then he says
Valiant's a dirty yellow dog.
There is a decent smart-ass crowd sign that says, Jim Mama's boy Cornette, cry baby Jim, which, hey, that anti-Cornette sign is indistinguishable from one of my tweets toward Jim Cornette.
Hey, and then Cornette is poor Bobby Eaton, his mouth doesn't work right. He can't even talk to me. And so he's ranting and raving. Jimmy Valiant comes in and runs off Jim Cornette. And he's like, "Where's that brawl at?"
The most beautiful sound ever. Jim Cornette sees this. He goes, "Wah!" Yeah, literally, "Wah! Wah!" Done.
But Jimmy Valiant's like, "Where's that brawl at? That's the toughest lady I ever met."
Yeah,
and he wants help to send a letter to her.
When the street lady kissed him, I thought he was pissed about it because he looked all what the fuck? No, Boogie Woogie Man.
He's like, whoa, mama.
Horny, actually.
No, he's like, awooga.
Awooga. Honk honk.
No, and then he's like, I need help sending a letter to her. I'll send a letter to Santa Claus. I'll send a letter to the FBI. That lady is mine. That lady is street people. He's really putting over how good of a kisser she is. I'll tell you that.
Holy shit.
I'm in love, baby. I'm in love.
Yeah, I guess all it took was a little bit of kissing. Jimmy Valiant is so horny. He's so horny that he in fact kisses Tony Schiavone. Equal opportunity sexual assault in WCW.
And Tony's like, whoa, all right. I don't know where that mouth has been. Whoa, mouth. Whoa there.
Oh, baby. Virgil,
they sign off. All right. You've done it again. All right. I guess it's time to know.
So Jimmy Valiant is madly in love.
Is this woman?
His penis has gone sprawling. Who, please, Austin, tell me the identity of this individual that is making Jimmy Valiant go awooga.
Awooga. So we will learn that this lady is named Miss Atlanta Lively, and she is played by Ronnie Garvin in drag.
Yes! I fucking called it!
Yep. It is Ronnie Garvin. I looked this up, and they're going to play this deadly straight. All right? They are never going to say that this is Ronnie Garvin in drag.
What the shit?
He is just playing a woman. They're not gonna make a joke about it. They're not gonna have a big reveal that it's Ronnie Garvin in drag. This is a totally different person as far as they're concerned.
What the shit? Wait.
I looked it up and I was like, why did they do this gimmick? And Ronnie Garvin was like, yeah, I just did it because it made money. I was just like, he just did it as like a laugh, and then it got over. So he's like, well, it's wrestling. I guess I'm going to keep doing that.
Holy shit. That's fucking...
A little research into it says that in story right now, Ronnie Garvin is like suspended, or he lost a loser leaves town match or whatever. So he's not here. And this is an excuse for him to do something in the meanwhile. But yeah, they're not going to play this as a joke or anything. Like
crazy.
It's a man in drag, but they're never going to make a joke out of that.
I fucking called it. Oh shit. One more Wikipedia deep dive. He's actually known for, I didn't know this. I guess I should have known that he was known for tagging with Barry Windham, who I can't remember if I knew that Barry Windham is the uncle of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, which would explain why Bray Wyatt's real name was Wyndham Rotunda. That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered if there was a connection there. That's fucking insane, and I love it.
So based as hell.
Yes,
based as hell, WCW doing an angle with a man in drag and not calling attention to that at all.
Yeah, they're not like you're one of them queers. Like, no, they're just fucking vibing with it. That's kind of awesome, actually.
No, I feel like the closest is Jim Cornette calling her ugly, but that's more or less just him trying to insult Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah, but again, he insinuates that Jimmy Valiant owes her child support, so he's like that's a full ass woman there, and they do not question it. That's kind of awesome, and I love that. Ronnie Garvin walked so Pimpinella Escarlata could run. Let's fucking go.
Yep, so there we have it. We will get more from the street people here. The love story between Miss Atlanta Lively and Jimmy Valiant.
Absolutely insane shit right here. I love this so much. This is awesome. Holy hell.
Yeah, and so that is our shows this week. A long one. Not a lot of good wrestling, but there was a lot going on.
A lot of other crazy shit going on.
A lot of crazy other shit going on, for sure. So that is it for this week. Next time we return to Lucha Underground.
Oh shit!
As the unstoppable reign of Matanza continues, and we also have that trios title tournament to finish up.
Temple. I'm fucking excited.
Yep. Oh, they set up Mil Muertes and Matanza for this week, didn't they?
I think they did.
I think we do get that.
We're going crazy with that shit.
Yep, and so that will be it for this time. Until then, David, hit our plugs.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, thank you all so much for joining us for yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. Returning listeners, viewers, what have you. You all know the drill. Thank you all so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. We're just so happy that you're here and that you keep coming back to hang out with us. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit, either way, we hope we've had a great time here. We hope you things feel fun and accessible to you. We hope you want to keep joining us week after week, and I'm going to make sure you know all the ways you can do so. First and foremost, of course, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. If you give us that sweet engagement, if you're so kind, comments, likes on our videos especially help really boost us in the algorithm. You check out all of our playlists. Austin has been kind enough to organize all of the storylines that we follow into their own separate playlists so that you can follow a storyline all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. And of course, you can see our beautiful, lovely faces on the video version, and Austin's once again A+ usage of his little mini whiteboard that has become an integral prop to Noobs and Knockouts.
Yes, of course.
But of course, if you hate the whiteboard and you want the audio only version, well, we have some options for you too. You can find us on 3 of the best places to find your podcast: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Come check us out there. Listen to our show. Download our show so you can listen to us offline. Some of that sweet engagement. If you would be so kind to give us things like some ratings and reviews on these platforms. Maybe a nice little 5 stars. Maybe a shout out that's like, hey, these guys are pretty cool. Maybe you should be listening to them too. Just an original thought I'm having for the first time ever. But either way, be sure to join us over on that audio version as well. Enjoy us online, offline, however, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Of course, we exist past this little void that we find ourselves in week after week. You can find us on a few other places on the interwebs. First and foremost, of course, is our Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Noobs and Knox Pod. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We do the whole Twitter thing. We do wrestling memes. We do mind-melting wrestling discourse. We put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell is going on. Highlight of our Twitter, of course, is weekly wrestling live tweeting every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are watching and tweeting all about AEW Dynamite on TBS and having a great time doing that. On top of that, me being the shameless AEW mark that I am, whenever I have the time, on Friday nights sometimes at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT, we will watch and tweet about AEW Rampage, and much the same for Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT with AEW Collision. That's not every week, but always be sure to check in with the podcast. See if we're talking about the show. Come join us for the discussion. If you enjoy listening to us ramble about wrestling, you'll enjoy hearing us talk on the Twitter. On top of that, Austin, being the knockout that he is Jesus, I have the hiccups all of a sudden. Is a follower of all of the 3 major U.S. promotions. We like to tell you guys all about what's going on. It's our chance on the show to talk about the world of modern wrestling. It is also for all of you noobs out there, letting you know all of your options, especially if you're American, letting you know some of your major options if you want to get into watching this stuff on a regular basis. And we like to tell you about the major pay-per-views that's coming up and everything else. So my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Yeah, all right. So we can start with TNA here. TNA you can watch every week on 8 p.m. Eastern on Access TV, or for a $1 a month YouTube subscription, you can watch it on YouTube for starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, commercial free. They have monthly shows out when they don't do regular pay-per-views on TNA Plus, their streaming service. Upcoming on March 8th, that is Friday. It is Sacrifice. The numbers do not lie, indeed. And so that is that. Then for WWE upcoming, they have on April the 6th and April the 7th, WrestleMania 40. You can watch weekly, by the way, Raw, Mondays at 8 on USA Network. SmackDown, Fridays at 8 on Fox. If you're a real freak like me, you can watch NXT Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on USA Network. That's the WWE show I watch live on a weekly basis. And I will absolutely have more to talk about NXT when we get close to Mania weekend and we talk about that whole slate of shows. But WrestleMania, a 2-night affair live on Peacock. And then AEW this weekend, Pat, is, after we finish recording this, we'll have AEW Revolution. What happens after that? I mean, normally in the calendar, we go to Double or Nothing in May. There are rumors that we're going to have an April pay-per-view.
Oh, Lord.
In between. Mm-hmm. And so what happens next for AEW, we don't know yet.
You'll find out.
Yep.
It's crazy. Is that what we got?
That's all we got.
Damn. We're keeping low profile till Mania. All right.
We are running low on time.
All right. Yeah, I got a pay-per-view day brunch to make. Cool, baby. So all of that good stuff over on the Twitter. We love to give you guys a whole slew of content to interact with, content TM. It is our lot in life. And again, we love our modern wrestling as much as our retro wrestling that we cover on the show. If you want to see us talk about any of this stuff or talk with us about it, you can do so over on the Twitter at Noobs and Knockouts Pod. Of course, if you want to get in more direct and long-form contact with us, you can email us at noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word, and knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us. Tell us what you think about the show. Request things you want to see us cover on the show. Tell us how based and red-pilled our hot takes are, or tell us that we're, fucking stupid. Either way, start discourse, start discussion, say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. And of course, finally, you can also find us on Patreon. We are also the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. The link for that is in our Twitter. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout-out at the end of each episode. Shout-out, as always, to friends of the show, the Sugar Daddy and El Lucha Dead Money for their wonderful contributions. We love you guys so much. Your contributions help out this show tremendously. We hope you enjoy your perks. If you want to enjoy your perks along with our friends here, you can do so on the Patreon. Just a single little $1 do a month helps out the show more than you guys know. It's a tremendous support to us, and you get some cool little perks out of it. And, maybe if more people join in, more people will get more perks on it. So if you want to join us there, you can do so for just a single $1 a month over on the Patreon. The link for that is in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.